Today to be present, your co-host for this morning. It is my privilege today to be present with our esteemed guests for the preview of a revolutionary EdTech product. I now invite Mr. Mr. Sanjeev Zucchi, the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Thomson Digital, to deliver the welcome address. Mr. Zucchi has extensive experience in the education domain and has led large teams across businesses in EdTech, higher with UPS, Millennium Schools, and the GD Goenka Group. Mr. Zucchi.
Thank you, Smita. Good afternoon, everyone. It is such a pleasure to welcome you all here today for this event, preview event of the Q&I platform. We have been in touch with many of you through the journey of building Q&I, and the insights that you have provided us across that journey have been very meaningful and have helped us create a very unique product offering that complements your teaching and is truly a paradigm shift in the competitive entrance space. We are indeed grateful to all of you who made the effort to come here today and for your kind presence this afternoon, which marks the culmination of our efforts in building India's first and only learning platform that follows a unique assessment-led learning approach. We will be sharing this radically different approach with you through various different sessions that we have planned for today. The platform preview will showcase the power of Q&I and how it moves away from the one-size-fits-all approach which is prevalent in other products. We today welcome you all and look forward to a truly exciting and meaningful and insightful discussion with you. To mark the beginning of Q&I's journey from concept to reality, I would like to introduce a brief introduction on Mr. Singh. He is the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of Thomson Digital. Mr. Vinay Singh is on the board of group companies within the India Today Group and the Thomson. He is responsible for the United States. Under his leadership, Thomson Digital has established itself as one of the most prominent solution providers in the international publishing world. His focus now is on providing transformative solutions in the domestic EdTech space, utilizing the company's rich legacy of educational content and technology. It is now my privilege to mark the beginning of Q&I's journey from concept to reality and to invite our Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Vinay Singh, to say a few words.
Here today, this afternoon, and in the next couple of hours, we'll take you through not a product but a solution which we all have put together just for you. Personalized and for every single individual. AI. I share, therefore, Q&I, the platform which has been put together by a team of people from the IITs, rest of the people from in the country with medical background. Go ahead. Thank you.
Mr. Vinay, and now it gives me extreme pleasure to be able to introduce somebody who's been part of the Q&A journey with us for a long time, Mr. Aman Singh, and who's part of the audience today. Mr. Aman Singh is an advisor with Q&A and has provided tremendous insights and guidance to all of us in building the platform. He is an IIT, has worked extensively in the education sector across higher education and edtech. He is the founding project director and registrar at Ashoka University and is also the founding program director at the Young India Fellowship. He has been involved in the setup of several universities including Kriya, Plaksha, Atria, Khanchen Zonga Buddhist University and the Indian School of Public Policy. Mr. Singh is also the founder of GradTech, which is an edtech fintech company. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you today Mr. Aman Singh. Mr. Aman Singh.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Hi, good morning to all of you. And it's wonderful to have all of you join probably during school hours. Some of you would probably have to skip part of your school to come here. Is that correct? Yes. And I want to thank you for making time for us. And I sincerely hope that the next an hour or so that you'll be with us, I hope it's really meaningful for you. And you think it's a time well used for you on a working day. So the team actually, this is our second such session in Delhi. We had a very good session on Monday in ITC Mora Sheraton. And today we are here. I think most of you are probably from schools in and around this part of Delhi. Is that correct? And we are delighted to welcome you. I have three parts to this session that I have with you over the next 15 minutes. The first is to give you a little bit of a background of how I have got involved with the project and what has kept me inspired in building this platform for all of you. And the second part of my conversation is going to be a little bit about how I see the world of edtech and its transformation in the last few years, and where I see the future of edtech kind of going from here onwards. And the last is to probably tell you how we have tried to reimagine something that could potentially transform the space of test preparation, as we call it, the space where you're preparing for all these IIT, JEE and medical entrance examinations. The last session was pretty exciting. A lot of students and teachers who participated in the session really loved what we had to share. We sincerely hope that you will enjoy this session as well. Let me go back a little bit to my own experience of my professional journey. Back in 2003, 2004, I actually tried to build a product like this. This was when internet was on dial-up, and the school had one computer lab, sometimes with 2 computers. Students did not have computers that time. The internet was only on the principal's desk or on the computer lab. Today, I think it's probably very different. So this was a great idea then. Somehow in all these 19 years, nobody tried to do it. And last year and a half ago, Sir reached out somehow through personal friends. We got connected, and Sir shared a brief outline of the idea, and I said, this is exactly what the country needs right now. And if you're building this, I would love to contribute to it. So I'm always grateful to Vinay sir for giving me this opportunity to be part of this really amazing, innovative idea. And I sincerely hope that this small meeting that we are having right now is actually a precursor to a very, very significant change in the edtech sector that you will probably experience over the next 10, 15 years. I have been part of such journeys in my last 15 years of experience. I remember my first meeting with students and parents of Ashoka, and we had booked a similar space, and we were all waiting for parents and students to come, and just 5 students and their parents came. That was the start of Ashoka University. And today, some of you who might be aware of this university, it's one of the better universities out there. And I've seen it time and again. It always starts very small. You don't realize what you're creating except when you go 5 years forward, and then you look back and say, that is what we are building that day. So today, I think I can tell you, you are really at the start of a beautiful journey, probably something that will change the lives of students. Some of you who will probably consider trying this product, and many more who will try this product in the future, the platform in the future, they'll experience a very different way of going about test preparation. So I want to again welcome all of you and thank you for joining this session. Okay. You know, I want to reconnect with this whole business of test preparation with my own journey as a student. So I went to a school in Delhi called DPS RK Puram, Delhi Public School RK Puram, and this was known as a factory those days. What does a factory mean? It means that it used to produce these IIT and medical entrance students in bulk. So if I had a section, like a classroom section of 40, 50 students, mostly the whole section went to IIT. Or if there was a section of medical students, the whole section went to the medical colleges that they wanted to. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is that there's something very interesting that used to happen that time. There were no coaching institutes that time. RK Puram didn't really have the best teachers, at least in my opinion. It really had the best students. And most of the preparation and most of the success that students got there was not because somebody was coaching them. It was actually because how the students were going about their preparation in full control of their preparation, which means they were not running to coaching schools after the school was over. They were not doing extra classes in that sense. You won't believe it, but the way we did our preparation was, there was a company called Brilliant Tutorials or Agarwal Classes. I don't know, the teachers would know these brands. They probably don't exist right now. And they would send you these course packages and a set of questions. You study the course package, you solve the questions and send it via post. And they would correct the questions and send it to you via post. I don't know if you know what a post means. It means an envelope in which you send those documents and you get them corrected and they come back to you and then look at it and so and then you analyze it and you say, I've made this mistake, oh, why did I get this wrong? And the teachers were very kind to give you very detailed responses. So just good feedback from teachers kept us going in the preparation journey. All of us, almost every one of us who that time went to, were lucky enough to get into IIT, this is how we prepared. And in my opinion, this is probably the fundamental and the correct way of going about your preparation for IIT-JEE or the medical entrance exams. I really believe that every student out there who deserves to be in IIT or a good college in medical entrance and so on, actually can do this on their own. It's a big claim. All of you have been made to believe that you have to go to this very hard grinding coaching institution. You have to first study 6 hours in school, then study 8 hours in a coaching school. Is that how it works broadly? 4 or 5 hours after class, is that how it works? Mostly I have heard you have to all go through this double schooling system. I have heard in Kota there is a school for the namesake, but you're actually going to a coaching class pretty much throughout your 3-4 years of stay in Kota. And all of you are aware of how anxiety inducing it is and how stressful it is for students. I think it has become very stressful. I can tell you it was not as stressful and as anxiety inducing today, as it has become today, at least in my time. We really took the preparation as an opportunity to have fun. You won't believe it, but it could be fun preparing for IIT-JEE. So for example, if I could not solve a problem in physics, I would not go to a teacher. I would ask you if you have solved it, and you'll say, "Mujhse bhi nahi hua." And then I'll ask someone else, "Pata chala pure hostel mein kisi se nahi hua ye problem." So now it is the talk of hostel. Ye problem kisi se nahi hua hai abhi. And then after 2 weeks, somebody will crack it at 2 a.m. and start telling everybody that I have cracked this problem. So it was really exciting to be preparing for IIT-JEE. A lot of commerce students, humanities students used to wonder why are these guys always so hyper about solving a problem. But actually that is the foundation of becoming a great engineer. It's because you enjoy solving problems. Why should solving a problem be stressful? Why should getting into a good college be stressful? Why can't it be a challenge, a fun, probably a meaningful opportunity? I think initially it was like that. With time it has become this crazy treadmill on which you are thrown every day after school, and you have to keep running for 6 hours. You come back on that treadmill, keep running for 6 hours, and hope that after 2 years you'll get into one of these colleges. ऐसा मैं गलत तो नहीं बोल रहा हूं आपको. Similar experience आप जानते होंगे या किसी से आपने सुना होगा. So that really was, that has been on my mind, that this problem has become so big now. In my time, there were 3 lakh students taking IIT-JEE. There are probably 3,000 seats. Today, I have heard there are 15 lakh or 17 lakh students taking IIT-JEE, and the seats are just about 10,000. I think the competition has increased, the anxiety has increased, and the dependency has increased. It is as if you don't go to a great coaching class, you have no chance in making it. If you don't go to a good school with good teachers, you don't have a chance in making it to some of these colleges. And a lot of times, if you don't have the money, you can neither go to a good school and neither can you go to a good coaching class. So guess what? Who is really getting into these colleges? Guys who can afford it, who can afford coaching preparation. I must tell you that some of you who are preparing for IIT and so on, or medical exams, some of you will make it, and you will suddenly start thinking you are very smart. There must be something special about you. And some of you will not make it, and you will say, "Main to iske liye, matlab, I am lesser than the others." I must tell you, you should not take either your success and failure in this exam too seriously. Because at least in my experience, there have been enough and more smarter, sharper people who just did not have access to coaching institutes, they did not have access to good schools, and they could not make it. So this over-dependency on this divine expertise of coaching institutions, and no offense, there are some amazing coaching institutions out there, but I'm talking about by and large, I don't believe that is the right approach to test preparation in India. I firmly believe that there's a need to reimagine test preparation in a way that anybody, everybody, wherever they are, no matter where, what their financial circumstances are, they should be able to prepare for these entrance exams without any limitations. Because that's a fair game. नहीं तो आप compete किसके साथ कर रहे हैं? उनके पास जिनके पास थोड़े बहुत ज़्यादा पैसे हैं. ये आपको लग रहा होगा कि हम लोग सब जो है, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि आप लोग ultra multi-billionaires हैं यहाँ पर. But there is enough and more people in this country who cannot afford to go to the schools that you're going to. And they are not getting a fair shot for preparation. कोचिंग क्लासेस में जो जाते हैं उसमें भी पता चला कि वो क्या कहते हैं उसको, स्टार बैचेस होते हैं. आकाश knows this very well. स्टार बैचेस होते हैं, जो टॉप स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं उनको टॉप टीचर्स मिलते हैं, जैसे आकाश सर जैसे. He was a top teacher in Kota with a very prestigious institute. He taught the very best, all of them under 100. And if you guys are looking at under 100, Akash is the guy you should be talking to. But there are enough and more people who are not star batches. They are in the middle order, they are in the lower middle order. They'll probably also make it to IIT. But what about them? You give them bad teachers? They actually deserve Akash more than the top students. Would you not agree? जो खराब स्टूडेंट है उसको तो बेटर टीचर्स चाहिए ना. नो ऑफेंस आकाश, बट व्हाई वाज आकाश टीचिंग द बेटर स्टूडेंट्स? बिकॉज उनका रैंक ऊपर आएगा तो रेपुटेशन बढ़ेगा कि सारे कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स अपना छापेंगे अपना स्टूडेंट्स का टीचर्स, स्टूडेंट्स का नाम. आई थिंक, एंड नथिंग रॉन्ग विद दैट. अगेन दिस इज फैंटास्टिक, इट वर्क्स फॉर देम, इट वर्क्स फॉर टीचर्स, इट वर्क्स फॉर स्टूडेंट्स. I had the same experience when I went to RK Puram. वहां पे बहुत क्लियर था, अगर आपके पास 95% के ऊपर है तो आप एबिलिटी सेक्शन में होंगे. इट वॉज कॉल्ड एबिलिटी सेक्शन. अगर आप 95% के नीचे हैं, यू विल बी कॉल्ड non-ability section. It was very clear कि आप non-ability हैं, मतलब 95, 94.5 में कोई non-ability नहीं हो सकता है, and 95 में ability हो जाएगा, ऐसा भी तो नहीं हो सकता है. So this distinction, this limited access to test preparation, limited access to someone like Akash, I just feel this is not an even playing field. A top student in Delhi may get to learn from Akash, but a top student in Gaya or a top student in Vijayawada will not get to learn from Akash. Why should it be the case? So you could be anybody in the country, but if you are not in the right place, if you are not in the right kind of coaching center, if you are not signed up to the right learning platforms, then you have limited access to compete. So somewhere I feel, that this has to change, and somewhere I feel the access to good preparation should be there for everybody in a cost-effective way. And what you see in Q&I is a starting point of creating this new game where everybody has an access to preparing very well for the exam. But I want to dive a little bit into the second part, which is, how I have seen the transformation of EdTech over these years. And I have stayed away from EdTech broadly because I was in EdTech in 2003 when EdTech was not a word. उस समय बस होता था कि कुछ smart classrooms बन रहे हैं. EdTech is now a word which is, in the last 5-6 years. So if you look at the first phase of EdTech, and the teachers will surely understand this so much better, पहले भी coaching classes होते थे, पहले भी schools होते थे, पहले भी tuitions होते थे, but वो in person हुआ करता था. अब क्या हुआ है? वही online हो गया है. आपको tuitions online मिलता है, आपको school भी online होने लगा, and coaching classes भी online हो गए. But काम वही हो रहा है. जो पहले ऐसे पढ़ाई होती थी जहां टीचर पढ़ा रहा होता था, स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ रहे होते थे, वही आज ऑनलाइन हो रहा है. तो फंडामेंटली नथिंग चेंज्ड except that the environment in which education was happening changed from offline to online. In my opinion, this is not tech. It's a very rudimentary application of tech in education. Because it was not giving anybody a breakthrough of access or breakthrough of intelligence in preparation or breakthrough of smartness in delivery or content and so on and so forth. Yes, it was making it more exciting. It was suddenly you had animations of, videos and so on that helped you visualize it better. But I don't think it changed anything dramatically except one thing, which was it gave people access. A student from small town could also access a teacher on Byju's or a teacher on online classes wherever they were. That was a big shift. And this happened very nicely. It started scaling up very beautifully. But since there was no real technology here, in my opinion, the moment this platform scaled up, you saw that the quality dropped. You're back to finding good teachers. You're back to trying to get to a better teacher where you could not, so there's some background noise, so I'm getting a little distracted. No worries, I think that's a separate event. That's fine. I'll just get used to it in 30 seconds. So what happened was, as these platforms scaled up, again students were left struggling to find the right teacher. So I feel that as these platforms scaled up, they eventually got stuck and they stopped delivering the value they could have delivered. And you can see there's a lot of hangama around, a lot of edtech companies shutting down, laying off people and so on, because the model was still resting on number of quality teachers. If you could not provide enough and more quality teachers for the students, you cannot deliver the same experience, and these platforms started tapering out. I think you will understand this because a lot of these platforms have now stalled in their growth. They are trying to get into tier 3 towns, tier 2 towns, and hoping to really get them from the bottom, get them to sign up the platform somehow or other, and leading to a lot of exploitative sales techniques. You might have followed the media around this, but this is where it actually was supposed to end up, because you can't scale up if you fundamentally don't alter the learning experience by using technology. So if I move a little bit forward to what we are trying to do, we are trying to change the way learning happens or test preparation happens. It means we want to change the focus from a teacher-driven test preparation to a student-driven test preparation. Which means just like my own experience of preparing for IIT, where I was basically preparing on my own, we believe that students can prepare on their own. Each student, no matter where they are, after they have crossed class 10th or even before that, they can actually prepare for this exam completely on their own. You just have to use tech smartly. How does it happen? The first thing is, I want to give you an example, and that will probably help you understand this very easily. So I was speaking to my daughter and I asked her, so how are you liking physics? She was in class 11th. So she said that, you know, I'm okay with things. I'm a little bit struggling in electricity. So I said, fair enough. What in electricity? She said, no, I'm fine with these 3-4 topics, but when it comes to capacitors, I get confused. So I said, okay, let's open the book, and I asked her, so do you understand, do you have challenges with dielectrics when dielectrics are between, in capacitors? You probably know what I'm talking about. She said, yeah, I can do some basic problems, but here in some complicated problems, I start struggling. So I took her to the derivation of dielectrics, and I figured that she was having challenges with the fundamental derivations of Coulomb's law. So I said, do you understand how Coulomb's law gets derived? She said, no, I know what it is and I can apply it, but I don't know the fundamentals of how it has gotten derived. But she understands physics very easily. But then it turned out the problem was not in Coulomb's law. The problem was in applying integrations in the derivation of Coulomb's law. So it started with electrostatics, but the real problem was sitting in integration. So if I could just teach her some basic integration concept, then suddenly all had got solved. That was a bit, I'm sharing this with you as an example to tell you that if only the teacher in my daughter's class could tell her that the problem lies in integration, not in electrostatics, my daughter would not need a teacher to explain electrostatics. So it starts with first trying to figure out why are you, let's say, struggling with something that you're struggling. It's very important to know that. Some of you, if I ask you where are you good in maths, you will say I'm good in these 4 topics. In probability or permutations, I'm not good. Then I ask you why? पता नहीं, वो सवाल ही नहीं बनता है. Then I ask you, but क्यों नहीं बनता है? वहां पे आप फंस जाएंगे. वो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा आपके लिए. वो कोई टीचर जो आपके साथ इंटीमेटली इन्वॉल्व है पढ़ाने में, वो आपको बता पाएगा. लेकिन स्केल पे तो वो टीचर आप 5000 बच्चों को तो नहीं बता पाएंगे. मैं आज तक मुझे ये नहीं पता कि मैं प्रोबेबिलिटी में क्यों खराब हूं. मुझे आज तक नहीं पता है, बिकॉज आई जस्ट सेड ठीक है प्रोबेबिलिटी में खराब हूं तो क्या हो, मैं कोऑर्डिनेट ज्योमेट्री में बहुत अच्छा हूं, मैं इसमें अच्छा हूं, उसमें अच्छा हूं. जब भी प्रोबेबिलिटी का सवाल आएगा तो मैं छोड़ दूंगा, बाकी मैं करके निकाल लूंगा. आई लिटरली गॉट इनटू आईआईटी बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. सो आई कुड नॉट गेट माय हेड अराउंड इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री. So I figured organic chemistry works well. I was lucky to get the right kind of book to read and understand. And those of you who are interested in chemistry, I'm giving you a name of a book called Morrison Boyd. If you thought organic chemistry is about ratta, you're wrong. Just pick up this book. Organic chemistry starts looking like maths after a while. It actually feels like maths, less of chemistry. So I was lucky and I mastered organic chemistry in 3-4 months. मैं अपनी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में पेपर खोला, फिजिकल केमिस्ट्री, इनऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री तो देखना ही नहीं था. आई जस्ट टुक ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री के सारे सवाल, 40 नंबर के सवाल थे, मैं 39 मार्क्स का करके आ गया. एंड बेसिकली दैट गॉट मी क्लियर्ड थ्रू केमिस्ट्री. सो टिल डेट इफ यू आस्क मी व्हाई एम आई नॉट गुड एट समथिंग, एंड इफ इमेजिन करो 40 मार्क्स के नहीं आए होते ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री, 15 के आए होते तो मेरा तो नहीं होता. So it starts with understanding what you are not good at and why. And second, if you are good at something, how good are you? You might be top of your class, you might be top of your class, but really the whole country has many such people top of their classes. You think you're good in physics, but how good relative to everybody who thinks who's good in physics? Because you're not going to get into this entrance exam by being good. You have to be better than everybody else to get into these colleges. So you ought to know how good you are in comparison to others. And when you're not good in a particular topic, you need to know why. This is very difficult to pinpoint if you're not using tech. Because if I give you a problem in electricity, I can pinpoint in 5 minutes if you're struggling with electrostatics. I'll give you 5 more problems in electrostatics, I'll know you're struggling with Coulomb's law. If I find you're struggling with Coulomb's law, I'll give you 5 more problems designed for that, and I'll tell you exactly that the problem is in integration, not in Coulomb's law. I can do that with tech. And Akash will tell you more how this platform works, but the heart of it is understanding the root of the problems and the benchmarking of where you are relatively, and then organizing the support for it. So imagine करें कि आप 5 लोग हैं जिनको इस इंटीग्रेशन में प्रॉब्लम है, 5 लोग हैं जिनको डायलेक्ट्रिक्स में प्रॉब्लम है, 5 लोग हैं जिनको कैपेसिटर्स में प्रॉब्लम है. Imagine you only go to that class where you are being taught about applying integration in physics. Imagine going to only that class where you are taught डायलेक्ट्रिक्स जब डायगोनली स्प्रेड होते हैं तो आप कैसे प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करेंगे. Because if I get to understand the root of those problems that 5 of you are facing and they're common problems, then I can organize that class just for that. Haven't you all sat in classes where you just knew what was being taught and you're just sitting there because you have to sit there for 45 minutes, जिसमें आप वो टॉपिक बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं, but आपको सुनना पड़ रहा है because बाकी लोगों को भी सुनना पड़ रहा है. You've all been there. When you did not need to be in that class, but you're sitting there because it's part of the routine. The 6 hours that you spend after your school hours, think about it. How many hours of those are really valuable for you? My bet is not more than 1. Because 5 घंटे जो पढ़ाया जा रहा है वो सबके लिए पढ़ाया जा रहा है, उसमें 1 घंटा होता है जो आपके काम का होता है. So to be able to provide customized support exactly where you need it, when you need it, you can only do that with tech at scale. Otherwise, everybody goes to the same classroom, learns the same things. The outcomes are not going to be great. I want to share with you a little bit more. I feel that the fundamental idea of using tech, using machine learning, artificial intelligence, is to give quality at scale. मैं आपको example देता हूँ. जैसे आप Amazon use करते होंगे, जैसे जैसे आप use करते गए, Amazon के recommendations क्या हो गए? और smart हो गए, आपके लिए customized हो गए, right? You felt almost like मुझे जो चाहिए वो फटाक से मिल जाता है. हर आदमी के लिए Amazon वैसे ही work कर रहा है. It's because there is tech in Amazon. The point is, if you are not using the right kind of technology in building platforms, you can never scale up without dropping quality. If you're using the right kind of tech, the more the users come, the more intelligent the platform becomes. And the quality of, and the cost of using this technology should go down with time, not go up with time. If the right technology is there, जैसे आप देखते होंगे, you know, for example, when phones came in, they were very expensive. But as phone manufacturing got smarter and smarter and smarter, the cost of phones came lower and lower and lower. That's what tech should do. If there is real tech, at scale, quality should happen. At scale, the cost should go down. When there is no tech, at scale, the quality actually starts dropping and cost starts increasing. This is basic application and principle of tech. It should simplify something for you. So I personally believe that this platform is poised, in my opinion, to be the most definitive tech-driven, data science, machine learning, AI-driven platform for the future of test preparation, starting with JEE, NEET, and going down all the way, maybe to help you in the classroom. It can help your teachers get a very sharp insight on each one of you to tailor the classroom for you, for the group of students he or she is talking to. I want to just end my presentation by making a small point, which is, in all my previous initiatives, whether I was setting up Ashoka University or helping set up other universities in India, I have come to realize that in education, if something significant has to happen, something valuable has to happen for students and parents, parents and teachers and students have to come together along with the people who are creating that idea. So for whatever it is worth, Ashoka is Ashoka today, not because the founders or people who were building it built it. It's because parents and teachers came together to support it. It's because they saw the value in the idea and they started sharing that idea with each other. I believe in EdTech, this is probably the first good attempt of involving schools, teachers and students in developing a product. So Akash, who's been building this product along with the tech team in the last few years, has really been building this with inputs from students and teachers. He's himself been a teacher for 15 years. He's from IIT Kanpur, batch of 2010, and some of his team members are here at the back, a lot of them from IITs, ICER and so on. They have really been teachers, and they have been building this platform with the inputs they have gotten from students and parents and teachers like yourself. And I'll request you to, as you use these platforms, feel free to share feedback, because that is what is going to improve the platform and make it more intelligent for the next generation of students. Because if there is tech, it becomes more intelligent if more users use it. So as more of you will use it, his system will pick more feedback, and his system will actually start refining the product for more and more users of the future. So feel free to reach out to him, give him your feedback. And I want to end by thanking all of you for your attention. I hope some of the ideas that we are going to share today or have shared today are useful to some extent. And I'm around for some time, so happy to talk more. And I look forward to your feedback and participation in this journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amanji. So, hello everyone, my name is Akash. I graduated from IIT Kanpur. I gave my IIT JEE exam in 2006 and graduated in 2010. And from 2010 onwards, I have been training, bright kids like we have a lot of, students here like you, and training them and helping them to succeed in their endeavors of preparation of IIT JEE. So, for the experience I have had for the past 12 years as a teacher, and the rigor with which I was preparing for this examination, the IIT JEE examination, so with the experience of being a student, when we started designing this product, I poured in all the experience that I had as a tutor as well as a student, because I understand both aspects of it. And then we started designing each and every feature that this platform is having. So me, along with my colleague Nisha, will be basically taking you through a brief presentation and a brief demo of the platform, showing you how exactly this platform works. Now the core idea on which we started developing the product is that I completely understand, and I've felt it while teaching the students for their preparation journey, is, let's see, every student is different, and so are his problems, his challenges, his learning methods are completely different. What I used to do 1 year earlier, I used to take a class of around 100 students, and I used to deliver the same lecture irrespective of where exactly each of the individual students are facing problems, whether they are able to understand a particular concept or not. I used to deliver the same lecture to everyone, so it was like, a cookie cutter approach that we used to take, and it was a limitations that we had also. It was nothing that we could do anything other than that, right? But I always used to feel that it should not be like this, right? Every student is going to face a completely different problem and a completely different set of challenges. So his solution should be focused on addressing the individual challenges that the student is facing, right? So when we started to, develop this product, so we wanted this product to be personalized to each and every individual in such a way that their exact problem areas are first highlighted and then remedial solutions are provided based on where exactly they are facing a challenge. And so we developed the product with an idea of assessment-led learning, because we can only personalize a learning journey for a student when we know them first. And that is where the assessment comes in, right? When you take an assessment, that basically highlights the problem areas, the challenges, the shortcomings that you are having in your preparation. And then when the platform, identifies the challenges that you have, then it basically crafts a personalized learning journey for you. So quickly we will start, taking you through a brief presentation and a demo. So that will basically clearly give you an idea that how exactly this platform is working. Okay, so over to you, Nisha.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nisha Gupta. I am a part of Q&I team, and together, as Akash mentioned, me and Akash will be helping you understand what Q&I is all about, and we'll follow it up with the live demonstration of the platform. The idea is that we want you to the Q&I platform would be able to make sure that his learning and preparation of JEE and NEET is getting augmented. All right? So why don't we start off by understanding the competitive landscape first. The students, educators, we all are aware that JEE and NEET entrance examination, they are the country's toughest examinations which is held today. And it is pretty evident from the statistics which you can see on my screen. The competition is huge, which translates into huge amounts of stress, anxiety, and pressure, not only amongst the poor students, but also amongst the parents and we educators. Am I right? Students, educators, lots of pressure, lots of stress, lots of anxiety, right? But for somebody who's just looking at it, they'll say that there's a clear bifurcation, that there are students who make it, there are students who don't make it. But when you start scratching the surface, you'll see that only the top 5 percentile of students who make it, they are happy and they are satisfied with the kinds of colleges or streams they are getting. The rest, they are not. For the rest of their lives, they are unhappy, they are dissatisfied, and they are always left with a feeling that I could have done better. And for students who are not able to make it, the major reason is that they were not able to get the right guidance as to what is the best way to prepare for these difficult examinations. So over here, students, let's play a quick game. On my screen, there will be certain emotions, thoughts, and words which have appeared. By a show of hands, students, please tell me, how many of you have experienced at least one of these emotions or thoughts during your preparation journey, at least once? A show of hands would do.
And I would also invite,
educators
educators as well, because at some point of time we were also students, right?
Right.
Great.
So I believe majority of us have experienced at least one of these emotions at some point during a preparation cycle, right? Students, the tragic part of this is that these emotions, they all are having a negative connotation. And JEE and NEET preparation, they are the most important journeys of our life, because our life, our career will depend on how we perform in these examinations. So do we want to start the most important journeys of our life on a negative footing? I believe not, right? You'll agree? So before we give a solution and tell how to counter these, it's better that we understand that what is the root causes behind these emotions. So at Q&I, we actually try to understand that what are the factors which causes our students, our parents and educators at some points to experience these negative emotions. I have listed out certain reasons, and students, you're sitting here, you can very well validate it when I say that most of the times we are not able to identify that what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses. We are not able to understand that, okay, if I am currently at this level, what is the path which will eventually lead me to success? I don't have much idea about it as a student. As a student, I am not every day or always getting personalized feedback about how should I be making progress. As a student, many a times, I don't have a clear metric to understand that if I am putting in these many efforts, what is the outcome of my efforts? Last but not the least, as Aman sir also said, we don't know that if I am preparing in a certain way or this is my current level of preparation, how do I rate or stand as against my peer fellow exam takers? So I don't have much clarity about it. And these are the basic reasons which actually make us experience those negative emotions and thoughts about our preparation. So at Q&I, we understood it, and this is something which is coming from personal experience because I have been a JEE aspirant myself. I always used to think, what if there was someone who could actually help me understand that what is my unique strength, what is my unique improvement areas, and as a student, what I can do so that I'm able to achieve success in these examinations. What if there was someone who would actually understand me and give me a plan, a clear-cut path, okay, which if I followed, I would be able to be achieving success in these examinations. What if there was someone who could provide me personalized feedback about how I am progressing? What if there was someone who could tell me that, okay, Nisha, if you have put in this many effort, this is the progress you have made. Last but not the least, what if someone who could tell me that this is how I stand against my fellow exam takers? In my times, unfortunately, I did not have that someone. But in your times, the answer is yes, you have that someone. And that someone is Q&I. All right. So a little background about Q&I first. The name Q&I. The reason why we have named it Q&I is that because at the heart of it, the focal point of Q&I is to make sure that we are able to bring out the individual in each and every student. So it essentially says Q&I is for the I in you because the platform will take every effort to understand that as a student, you are unique, you have your own unique strengths, you have your own unique learning requirements, and the questions on this platform would be crafted specific to your unique learning abilities. Hence, Q&I essentially is for the I in you.
So here, while developing the platform and conceptualizing that how we should basically, structure the platform so that we keep students at the center. Because all we want is understand where exactly are you facing a difficulty and how to remove that difficulty in the most efficient way without putting you under any sort of stress. Okay, by a raise of hands, I just wanted to understand that if you are into this preparation journey, how do you rate yourself? Do you feel a little bit more stressed as compared to, when you were, only in your schools, like in the class 10th, and once you have, come into class 11th, there has been a little bit more stress, more anxiety lurking on you? Anyone who is feeling any such of pressure? Especially the ones who are preparing for this competitive examination, it's completely okay. I was in tremendous stress myself when I was preparing for this examination, right? But shouldn't it be more fun? Because you understand, the learning actually starts when you start practicing problems. When do you, I just want to, take some answers from the students as well. Like, when do you enjoy your studies? Anyone? Yeah, please.
Whenever we solve our questions and we get our answer in first try.
Great. Yes. Okay. Anyone else who wants to add? When do you enjoy your learning the most? Yeah, please. Say that in the mic, yes.
Sir, when we are studying our favorite subject,
And?
topic,
Okay. So how do you define your favorite subject? Which subject becomes your favorite?
sir, my favorite subject is maths.
No, I
really
understand
like
that.
to enjoy while practicing.
So any subject becomes your favorite when you start solving questions on your own, right?
Yes, sir.
And when there is no difficulty in solving those problems, right? Then only you start enjoying it. And do you agree that actual learning starts from there when you start practicing problems? Just by attending lectures, we do understand that we have understood the concepts and everything, but our personal learning starts when? When we start solving questions, isn't it? And that is why assessment is something that is very essential. We have to, this is something that we wanted to change. The way we prepare for these examinations needs to be thought upon from a different angle. Because we understand completely that when we start solving questions, when we go at your home after attending the lectures, when we go home, start solving questions, and if we are able to solve all the questions without any external help, without any problem, then we start enjoying it. अगर 5 क्वेश्चन हो गए तो हम चाहते हैं छठा भी कर लें, 7वां भी कर लें. लेकिन इमेजिन एक सिनेरियो आप वो इमेजिन करिए कि पहला क्वेश्चन बैठे करने वही नहीं हुआ, दूसरा भी नहीं हुआ, तीसरा भी नहीं हुआ, उसके बाद तो पढ़ने का मन ही नहीं करेगा बिल्कुल कभी, है ना. नाउ असेसमेंट लेड लर्निंग तो इंपॉर्टेंट है ही, क्योंकि असेसमेंट यानी जब प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू करोगे आप क्वेश्चंस, व्हेन यू गिव a lot of effort on your practice sessions, then only your learning actually starts. लेकिन वो लर्निंग भी आपको एक इंटेलिजेंट वे में होनी चाहिए. जैसा कि मैंने बोला कि इफ यू आर सब्जेक्टेड टू डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस राइट फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑनवर्ड्स, तो वो क्या होता है, इंटरेस्ट धीरे धीरे कम हो जाता है आपका, ठीक है. एंड अल्टीमेटली व्हेन यू आर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस, वो होता है कि वो आपका सब्जेक्ट आपकी फेवरेट लिस्ट से बाहर आ जाता है ना. So that is why we have made the platform adaptive and intelligent, so that when you come and try to, solve questions or try to, conduct your practice sessions, it should be adaptive. It should not be like पहला ही question आपके ऊपर atom bomb गिर गया. That should not be the way, right? First, it should understand that where exactly you are, मैं कहाँ पे हूँ, वहाँ से, फिर then it should gradually let me, graduate to upper levels. अगर मैंने कोई चैप्टर शुरू किया है तो मुझे जो प्रैक्टिस सेशन मिलना चाहिए, इट शुड बी फ्रॉम वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चंस. ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे एकदम अचानक से एक एडवांस लेवल का क्वेश्चन मिल जाए, राइट. I should be started with very basic questions, and then when I am able to solve all those basic questions, I should be graduated to, a medium level, and then ultimately to a higher level or advanced level, if you'll say. So that is why it has to be adaptive. So we have made our platform adaptive in such a way that it gradually takes you to the ultimate level where you will feel confident कि yes, now I will be able to solve any question in this particular topic and in this particular chapter, right? And we will show you how exactly this works on the platform as well. So that is why we have kept student at the center. We have made our platform assessment-led learning, and we have made the platform adaptive because you have to enjoy it in order to, be more confident in your preparation journey. So the cycle that we consider, that should be an ideal preparation curve or ideal preparation cycle, rather I would say. It should start with test. पहले आपको पता होना चाहिए कि exactly where I am in my preparation or in my understanding of a particular chapter of a particular topic. Now, if the platform understands, okay, this is your or learning level or understanding level in a particular topic, तो platform आपको वहाँ से practice देना शुरू करेगा, and then it will take you to higher levels gradually. So it will start with test, then the second part is that comes is analytics. because after the test only you will be able to identify. कितने लोगों को बिना टेस्ट दिए पता चल जाता है कि मेरा सब्जेक्ट कोई वीक है? How do we judge that I am not good at a particular subject when we are not able to score well in that particular subject, right? तो उसका एनालिसिस सिर्फ स्कोर से रिलेटेड नहीं होना चाहिए. जैसा कि अमन जी बोल भी रहे थे कि it is normal that you are not able to understand a particular subject in physics, but it might be not because of you are having a difficulty in understanding the concepts of physics. It might be because you are having some problem in the mathematics area which is being used in the physics, and that is the actual cause. तो आप अगर root cause को अगर नहीं analyze करोगे तो you won't be able to eradicate your problem forever. That is what I am saying. So you have to, the second stage of the preparation or learning curve is the analysis. You have to analyze. Then the third part is, in this analysis, what will be the result or the outcome that will be coming? That you will be able to identify your exact weaknesses and exact strengths. If you are able to do that, then only you will be able to shift your efforts and energy in such a way that gives you your maximum outcome, right? So the third part is basically you identify your weaknesses and your strengths. Now that this part is clear, then only you go and clear your concepts in your corresponding weak areas, and you keep practicing in your strength area so that they remain in the strength quadrant, right? कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि जब हम चैप्टर पढ़ रहे होते हैं उस समय तक तो सब कुछ क्लियर रहता है, सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया रहता है, एक महीने बाद वापस आते हैं उधर तो बहुत सारी चीजें मिस हो जाती हैं, भूल जाते हैं, आउट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस हो जाती हैं. तो वी हैव टू आल्सो कीप ऑन प्रैक्टिसिंग द स्ट्रेंथ्स दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी garnered, and we have to make our practice sessions in such a way that our strength remain as a strength. वीकनेस तो हम स्ट्रेंथ में कन्वर्ट करेंगे ही, लेकिन स्ट्रेंथ हमारा स्ट्रेंथ में ही रहना चाहिए. And then ultimately when you have cleared your concept, then again come back, take practice sessions, and then ensure that कि जो concept हमने clear किए हैं, now they are actually cleared, and now you are able to solve all the questions. So this should be the ideal learning curve that the student should follow, and that is what we have embedded in our system for the effective learning process that the student must go.
So,
And just to give you an insight why exactly the adaptive learning is important. अगर आप समझो कि अगर concepts को हम सिर्फ 3 stages में तोड़ के रख देते, simple, medium and difficult, right? But simple से medium के बीच में भी बहुत सारे stages हैं. It is not that ये 3-step process तो है नहीं. You have to gradually graduate to. तो imagine आप simple, medium और tough के बीच में आप identify, अगर मान लो if you are trying to jump from simple to medium, there are still a lot of levels that you need to have. लेकिन अभी क्या है ना कि बड़ा ये इस तरीके से divided है the concepts on many of the other platforms, no offense, that they have only segregated their concepts into just these 3 levels. What we as a platform have done, हमने simple को भी multiple steps में divide किया, medium को भी multiple steps में divide किया, and complex को भी हमने multiple steps में divide किया, depending on a lot of permutation combinations, because a lot of things are involved in making a question simple. It could be आप बहुत जल्दी उसको solve कर ले रहे हैं, it could be the concept is very easy, it could be that it requires a very simple formula to use, and so a lot of permutation combinations we have made inside the content, and that is how we have divided each of the steps of being simple, medium and difficult into multiple ones. And when you start using the adaptive engine, this is how it will be. Now it will be more like a smooth learning for you rather than a sudden jump from this to this and then going up and down and up and down. And that is why the adaptive learning is more interactive, more engaging and it will be fun for you to learn that way. आप खुद ही imagine कीजिए now आपके suppose you have just completed a particular topic or particular concept inside your classroom, and when you go for a practice session of that particular topic, and imagine when you are able to solve each and every question of that particular topic because it is being solved to you in that way कि आपको एकदम simple से पहले medium पर medium and then multiple levels going. So if you are gradually moving up the ladder, ऐसा हो सकता है कि you might get stuck at some particular point, right? So the platform will exactly let you know that कहाँ पे आप stuck हो गए, right? And it will not let you move unless you clear that particular level and then, you know, ultimately reach to the apex where you will be able to solve exam, you know, JEE level and JEE advanced level questions. ठीक है, तो वो तब तक आपको वहाँ पे stuck, the platform will keep you at that particular level until and unless you clear it out completely outrightly, and then ultimately you will be in a position where you will be able to solve each and every question, right? So imagine if this is the intelligence that you can get from the system and you know, bring it in your preparation journey, your journey becomes less stressful, more certain. आपको see, confidence is something that is going to be very, very essential for you when you appear for these examinations, right? अगर आपका confidence बहुत अच्छा है, किसी chapter में कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हमें लगता है कि we have cleared this chapter, और ultimately जब examination hall में बैठते हैं ना, फिर उसके question नहीं बन पाते हैं. So the idea that we had about that chapter कि ये already मेरा अच्छा था, लेकिन ultimately जब examination में गए तो we were not able to solve it, तो वो गलत हो जाता है पूरा. So you have to have a certain clarity. उसको data, अगर मैं आपको आप platform पे आओगे तो you'll see. We will quickly actually let you through the platform, and आपको वहाँ पता चलेगा कि you'll have different proficiencies. So you reach at a particular level of proficiency, it has a backing of data of all the questions that you have solved, right? So let's quickly jump to the platform and we will show you how exactly this all works. Okay. जैसा कि मैंने बोला कि in order to make your preparation journey personalized, the platform has to know you first, right? Irrespective of आपने कहाँ से preparation शुरू करी है, whether you are in class 11th, whether you are in class 12th, or whether you are about to give your JEE examination in the coming months, right? The platform will first give you a personalized preparation assessment. ये सबसे पहला task आपको platform देगा. And this is basically a test, sort of a diagnostic test. Diagnostic test of your understanding of the concepts. So what you will do is, you'll go and attempt this diagnostic test. You will be subjected through 75 questions, and it is a 3-hour long duration test. So it is always advised that you give this diagnostic test because there are a lot of things that will happen when you complete this test. सबसे पहले जो हमारा adaptive engine है, that will exactly figure out where exactly are your learning levels as compared to कोई chapter और किसी भी topic में, तो वो exactly identify कर लेता है कि आपका learning level किधर है. And by identifying that particular thing, the adaptive engine basically calibrates, क्योंकि वो आपके लिए personalized learning journey बनाने वाला है, तो it has to understand you first, and then जो भी recommendations आएंगे आगे, वो आपको अच्छी तरीके से समझने के बाद आएंगे. So that is where you have to take this personalized preparation journey. You will be subjected to a set of 75 questions, 25 questions in each of the subjects. I have chosen JEE. There is an option for NEET as well. So in there you will be having 4 subjects as NEET usually asks. So आपके पास physics, chemistry, and botany and zoology. This will be the 4 topics that you'll have, and there you will have 100 questions, which you have to cover in 3 hours. So you will attempt each of the questions. I'm just, don't judge me because मैं ऐसे ही रैंडम मार्क कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है. सो आई एम नॉट सॉल्विंग एनी ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. सो you will solve all the questions, and what you will do is you will submit this test. As you go and submit, you will see that how many questions have you answered, how many question remains unanswered and marked for review, and answered and marked for review. Marked for review ऐसा होता है जो जिसके बारे में आपको confusion है, right? When you are not sure that whether you will be able to solve this question, but you still want to see when if time permits, you want to come back and see these questions. So you mark them for review. There are some questions which you will answer, but still you have a doubt in. So for those questions, you answer and mark it for review, so that when time permits, you will always come back and see. But जो answered and marked for review होता है, that is taken for scoring वाला part. You will be scored on these answered and marked for review question, and this is basically the pattern that JEE follows and NTA follows rather for JEE as well as NEET examination. NEET में pen and paper पे होता है, so you won't be having that option. But JEE, since has been conducted on a CBT basis, computer based test है, so there we जो आपने test panel देखा है, we have designed the test panel in such a way that it is actually the replica of what JEE actually provides. All the buttons we have kept same because आपको वो practice होनी चाहिए कि this is what exactly each of the buttons do, right? So after this you submit your test, and in the real time you get your analytics. जैसे ही आप test submit करते हो, you will get कि आपका score क्या आया, right? How many questions you attempted correctly, how many questions you attempted incorrectly, and how many questions you have left unattempted. जैसे अमन जी बोल रहे थे ना कि हम लोग पहले भर के भेजते थे, then एक महीने बाद आपको उसका result और जो भी आता था, here you will get instantaneously, right? And apart from this, you will also see that कौन-कौन से topics थे जहाँ से question आए थे हमारे, which were the topics where the questions were from, in mathematics, in physics, कौन-कौन सा topics था जो हमसे पूछा गया था, and in chemistry, और उस topic में कितने question मुझसे पूछे गए थे, मैंने उसको attempt किया था correctly, उसको attempt नहीं किया था, या वो question मेरा गलत हो गया था. You will be able to see that here. Now this analytics you get right there after you submit the test. You can also go and review the questions, that which were the questions I did wrong in the test. So you can clearly see there is an option. यहाँ पे answer palette में आपको दिख जाएगा कि कौन-कौन से question आपने wrong किए हैं. अब कई बार ऐसा होता है ना, हम चाहते हैं कि before seeing the answer, we want to give it one more try. तो उसके लिए आप क्या कर सकते हो? You can always go and filter this कि आपको wrong वाले questions एक बार फिर से देखने हैं. तो यहाँ पे जो question आपने wrong किए हैं ना, वो यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे this panel में, and you will be able to give it one more try before actually seeing the entire solution. When you want to go and see the entire solution of the question, you can always go and see the explanation of the entire question here. It will be a detailed explanation of all the questions that you have done wrong, and you will be able to see the correct solution for it, all the questions. लेकिन इसकी सबसे अच्छी बात यहाँ पे ये है कि ये view details, if you click on view details, you'll be exactly able to understand. See, कई बार ऐसा बहुत बार होता है हमारे साथ, मैंने भी देखा है जब when I used to take classes. How many of you, especially the students, how many of you feel कि एक question class में आपने इसलिए नहीं पूछा क्योंकि आपको लगा कि ये question सिर्फ मुझे ही नहीं आता है, बाकी सारी class ने कर लिया होगा? कभी ऐसा feel हुआ है आप लोगों को? Just show of hands, थोड़ा बढ़िया से दिखना चाहिए. Everyone. Many a times we feel like we don't ask questions because we understand that it was only me. Now you can be at ease. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग क्वेश्चन इसलिए क्लास में नहीं पूछते क्योंकि हमें लगता है कि it is only me who has not understood this question. पूरी क्लास तो समझ ही ली होगी. तो यहाँ से ना एक चीज हम यहाँ पे ये भी दिखाते हैं कि कितने लोगों ने ये क्वेश्चन करेक्ट किया है, so that you will have an idea that you are not alone who has not answered this question correctly. There are others also, right? So you do not have to be worried about asking this as a doubt. होता है ना कि कई क्वेश्चन मुझसे नहीं बना है, मुझे लगा कि सारे क्लास ने कर दिया है और सिर्फ मैं ही हूं जिससे नहीं बना है, तो आपको यहाँ पे क्लियरली वो आइडिया लग जाएगा कि नहीं, मेरी तरह और भी लोग हैं क्लास में जिनसे नहीं बना है, सो आई शुड बी कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ टू आस्क दिस एज अ डाउट, राइट। उसके साथ साथ ही आपको ये पता चल जाता है कि इस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन को करने में कौन सा एग्जैक्टली टॉपिक से ये सवाल था, राइट। और यही नहीं, इस टॉपिक में कौन कौन से कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपको आने चाहिए थे टू आंसर दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन। तो आपको एग्जैक्टली क्लियर हो जाएगा कि अगर ये क्वेश्चन आपसे नहीं बना है तो आपको जाके कौन सा टॉपिक वापस से जाके अपना रिवाइज कर लेना है। और इसके साथ ही एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर हम यहाँ पे ये भी देते हैं कि इसमें लर्निंग स्किल एक्चुअली कौन सी रिक्वायर्ड थी। तो इसमें अगर बोलता है लर्निंग स्किल इवैल्यूएशन रिक्वायर्ड थी, तो देयर इज अ सेक्शन वे विल बी स्पेसिफिकली टेलिंग यू what are the learning skills and what are the strategic skills that the platform is going to give you an insight on. So this is how you can always go and review your test that you have just concluded. अब जब आपने ये test conclude कर लिया है, when you have completed your personalized preparation assessment, then what will happen? There are some things that are going to change on your dashboard. Right? The changes that you are going to have is, first thing that you should go and see is this MyQ matrix. Now for JEE preparation and for NEET preparation, roughly around, अगर मैं सारे chapters को topics में divide कर दूं, small units of topics में अगर divide कर दूं, तो around 400 topics हमें पढ़ने होते हैं in order to cover the entire syllabus of JEE, around 400. Now it is practically impossible for us to keep a track of all those 400 topics की हर topic में मेरा क्या है, मतलब ये मेरा अच्छा है या फिर बुरा है, उसमें किधर मैं stand करता हूँ, manually track करना it is very difficult. So that is basically taken care of by the platform. कि प्लेटफॉर्म आपके टेस्ट से एनालाइज करके आइडेंटिफाई कर लेगा और 4 क्वाड्रेंट बना देगा. इट विल बी बेसिकली मेकिंग 4 क्वाड्रेंट्स. The first quadrant will be your strength bucket, where you will have all the topics where you have performed exceptionally, where your proficiency is more than 90%, right? So those are your strength topics. So वो एक bucket में आके अपने आप populate हो जाएंगे. Then there is a bucket of opportunities. Opportunity basically वैसे वाले topic है ना जहाँ पे आप पूरी तरीके से strength में नहीं पहुंचे हैं, but थोड़ा सा effort अगर आपने और लगाया ना, तो ये सारे के सारे strength में convert हो सकते हैं. So those topics you will be able to see in the quadrant 2. Third quadrant है hurdles. मतलब ये ऐसे topics हैं जो पूरी तरीके से आपके कमजोर नहीं है, है ना, लेकिन पूरी तरीके से strong भी नहीं है, जहां पे आपको थोड़ा quadrant 2 से थोड़ा ज्यादा effort लगाना पड़ेगा to make them into your strength topics. And fourth वाले ऐसे हैं जहां पे हर बार आप जाके mistake कर रहे हैं. Every time you are going on in these topics and you are doing mistakes in solving these questions. So ये अपने आप आपका 400 के 400 टॉपिक अपने आप इधर जाके जैसे जैसे आप टॉपिक अटेम्प्ट करते जाओगे वैसे वैसे इधर आपका पॉपुलेशन बढ़ता जाएगा और वो अल्टीमेटली when you have spent enough time on the platform, this is how it will get populated. You will have around the number of topics that you will have into your strength bucket, opportunity bucket, hurdles bucket and weaknesses bucket will keep on populating as you keep solving more and more topics in your practice sessions, right? So this is the first thing that the platform will do. It will also give you your subject performances कि हर subject में आपकी क्या proficiency चल रही है while you are preparing for this, so that you have a clear idea. See, the examination, IIT का जो examination है, आपको तीनों subjects more or less आपको क्योंकि subject cutoff, there is always a subject cutoff associated to it. So you have to have a certain level of proficiency in each of the topics. You cannot ignore chemistry completely and just by preparing mathematics and physics you will be able to qualify the examination. ये ऐसा नहीं होता है ना? Even if कि आपका qualification marks से जो qualifying marks है उससे बहुत ज़्यादा marks है in just the 2 subjects physics and mathematics, लेकिन chemistry में अगर आप subject cutoff से नीचे हैं you will not get a rank and you will not get admitted in the in IITs or NITs, right? So you have to have a balance between all the 3 subjects. तो ये just by a look at this particular subject performance graph, you'll be able to understand कि कौन सा subject मेरा थोड़ा अच्छा चल रहा है, बुरा चल रहा है या फिर किधर चल रहा है. Ideally, you should have a coherency in between the subject performances in mathematics, physics and chemistry, and if you are preparing for NEET examination, it should be physics, chemistry, botany and zoology, right? अब यहाँ से आपको एक सबसे important section, अब यहाँ से आपको पता चल गया माइक्यू मैट्रिक्स से कि कौन कौन से आपके टॉपिक्स वीक हैं, कौन कौन से टॉपिक्स में आपको काम करना है. So then what you'll do is, then you will go to assessments and here you have your practice sessions. जैसा कि मैंने बताया कि your learning will start when you start practicing questions, right? So here you will go, there is a custom practice session, you click on it and you will be redirected to this page. अब यहाँ पे आप हर, जैसे मैथमेटिक्स में आपने, जैसे मान लीजिए आपके क्लास में अभी बाइनोमियल थ्योरम चल रहा है ना, तो बाइनोमियल थ्योरम में आज मान लीजिए आपको एक पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक कराया गया. सो यू कैन आइदर, यू हैव एन ऑप्शन ऑफ प्रैक्टिसिंग द एंटायर बाइनोमियल थ्योरम एट वंस, एक साथ आप पूरा का पूरा बाइनोमियल थ्योरम का प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, और you can break it down into smaller topics and you can practice for each of the topics. जैसे मान लीजिए आपको अभी बाइनोमियल थ्योरम फॉर पॉजिटिव इंटीग्रल एक्सपोनेंट के लिए पढ़ाया गया है, ये टॉपिक जस्ट आज कवर किया गया है आपकी क्लास में. सो यू कैन ऑलवेज कम बैक होम एंड स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन. तो आप ये टॉपिक सेलेक्ट कर लीजिए. हो सकता है आपको एक से ज्यादा टॉपिक एक साथ प्रैक्टिस करनी है तो आप एक से ज्यादा टॉपिक सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं, एंड देन यू कैन स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग फॉर दिस सिलेक्शन दैट यू हैव मेड. अब यहाँ पे ये जितने भी टेस्ट इस कस्टम सेक्शन में होंगे, दे विल बी अडैप्टिव इन नेचर. अडैप्टिव इन नेचर का डेफिनेशन क्या होगा कि दीज टेस्ट विल बी, जैसे आपने टॉपिक वाइज टेस्ट सेलेक्ट किया है तो ड्यूरेशन आपको 30 मिनट मिलेगा, ठीक है. इन 30 मिनट्स में नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन हम लोगों ने लिमिट नहीं किया है, बिकॉज दिस इज अ प्रैक्टिस सेशन. हो सकता है कि एक 30 मिनट्स में आप मोर देन 30 क्वेश्चंस भी कर सकते हो. सो देयर विल बी नो लिमिट ऑन द नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस दैट यू कैन डू, एंड ईच ऑफ द क्वेश्चन विल, द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन दैट इज गोइंग टू, अब यहाँ पे आप देखो, यहाँ पे हमने कोई क्वेश्चन पैलेट नहीं दिया है, because every next question that you will receive will depend on what was the response that you submitted for the previous one. अगर आपने उसका आंसर सही किया है तो उसके हिसाब से फिर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा, अगर आपने आंसर गलत किया है तो उसके हिसाब से फिर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आएगा. सो whatever the response that you'll submit for the, whatever the response that you submit for the question, this question, the next question will be decided on that, and it will be completely personal for you. अगर आपने सही किया है तो आपका अलग क्वेश्चन आएगा, अगर किसी और ने गलत किया है तो उसका क्वेश्चन अलग आएगा. सो इट विल टोटली टेक यू वन स्टेप एट अ टाइम, है ना. इट विल बी वेरी ग्रेजुअल लर्निंग फॉर यू, राइट. तो आप यहाँ से इसके आंसर्स अब कर सकते हो. इन अ प्रैक्टिस सेशन आइडियली यू शुड टेक योर टाइम. इसीलिए अच्छा, यहाँ पे एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज हमने रखी है, ये एवरेज टाइम. नाउ व्हाट डज दिस एवरेज टाइम शोज, दैट आइडियली इस क्वेश्चन को करने में इतना टाइम लगना चाहिए आइडियली, राइट. बट वी हैव नॉट शोन यू दैट वो टाइम कितना होता है, क्योंकि अगर हमें टाइम पहले से पता हो ना तो वो प्रेशर हो जाता है कि अरे यार इसको तो 1 मिनट में एनी हाउ मुझे करना है. सो वी डिड नॉट वांटेड टू हैव दैट प्रेशर बिल्ट अप अपॉन यू बिफोर और ड्यूरिंग सॉल्विंग दिस क्वेश्चन. लेकिन जैसे ही ये टाइमर खत्म होता है ना तो वो एग्जैक्टली बता देता है. जैसे ही ये टाइमर अपना कम होगा वो बता देगा कि इस क्वेश्चन को करने में आपको 1 मिनट लगना चाहिए था ऑन एन एवरेज, या फिर 2 मिनट लगना चाहिए था ऑन एन एवरेज, एंड यू हैव एक्सीडेड दैट पर्टिकुलर टाइम. सो यू विल हैव अ क्लियर आइडिया ऑन ट्रैकिंग योर स्पीड एज वेल, ठीक है. क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली एग्जामिनेशन में टाइम बाउंड एग्जामिनेशन होता है, एंड इन अ सर्टेन लिमिटेड अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम यू हैव टू सॉल्व अ पर्टिकुलर नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, सो यू हैव टू मेंटेन योर स्पीड एज वेल, ठीक है. तो वो यहाँ से आप मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं. सो यू विल बी एबल टू attempt all the questions, save and next. The last question you have to save, you have to mark, and then अगर आप मान लीजिए आपने इस particular section में 5 question 30 minutes के interval में, as I said, take your time because these are practice sessions. यहाँ पे आप actually सीखोगे, यहाँ पे अपने concepts को master करोगे. So don't take take pressure on the time here, but still keep an eye on it, right? And after this particular session, you can obviously submit this test, and आपको दिख जाएगा कि इस टेस्ट में आपने 5 क्वेश्चन आंसर किए. जैसे ही आप इस टेस्ट को सबमिट करोगे, अगेन यू विल गेट योर एनालिटिक्स. इमीडिएटली आपको दिख जाएगा कि आपने कितने सही सवाल किए हैं, कितने गलत किए हैं, कितने अटेम्प्ट नहीं किए हैं, और किन किन टॉपिक से आपने सवाल किए, मतलब आपको सवाल दिए गए थे. तो क्लियरली आपने 2 टॉपिक सेलेक्ट किए थे. पहले से आपने 2 सवाल करेक्ट किए, एक इनकरेक्ट किया, और नॉट अटेम्प्टेड इसमें से कोई नहीं था, क्योंकि अडैप्टिव टेस्ट में यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट ईच ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. देयर इज नो ऑप्शन ऑफ स्किपिंग द क्वेश्चन, एंड ऑब्वियसली क्योंकि आप जब उसका आंसर सबमिट करोगे तभी आपको नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन मिलेगा, राइट? So this is how the adaptive test works. You can always go and review, and it is the same process once again. You'll be able to see all the explanations, you'll be able to see कि कौन से टॉपिक का ये सवाल था, उसमें कॉन्सेप्ट कौन सा जरूरी था, और उसमें लर्निंग स्किल क्या रिक्वायर्ड थी. So this is how you will be taking your practice sessions, right? अच्छा, एक और चीज है यहाँ पे, इस प्रैक्टिस सेशन में आप जाके कभी भी ये देख सकते हो कि आपने कितने प्रैक्टिस अटेम्प्ट किए हैं. सो देयर इज अ रिपोजिटरी ऑफ एवरीथिंग दैट यू डू, एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर पेरेंट्स ऑल्सो, क्योंकि पेरेंट्स भी अगर आपको चाहें तो देख सकते हैं ना कि वॉट एवर आज के दिन, जैसे 15 नवंबर को आज के दिन आपने क्या क्या काम किया, कितने टेस्ट दिए हैं. सो इट विल बी देयर इन द रिपोजिटरी. यू कैन ऑलवेज गो एंड रेफर. यू कैन सी डिटेल्स क्या थे, कि कितने क्वेश्चन का टेस्ट था, कितने मार्क्स आए थे मेरे, वो डायरेक्ट डिटेल्स देख सकते हैं. आप एनालिटिक्स देख सकते हैं कि इस टेस्ट का एनालिटिक्स कैसा जनरेट हुआ था मेरा, और आप उसमें जाके पूरा का पूरा टेस्ट भी वापस से रिविजिट कर सकते हैं. उस सेक्शन में जाके यू कैन ऑलवेज गो एंड सी दैट व्हाट वाज द टेस्ट दैट आई गेव. So you can always go and review the exam directly from here. So there is always a repository that is maintained of all the work that you do on the platform. Now there is also a section where you will get a test series. There will always be a test series on the platform, and this will be open for all the students who are there in the platform, because it is very essential for us not just to understand कि मेरी preparation level कैसी चल रही है, आपको ये भी देखना होता है कि बाकियों के respect में मैं कहाँ पे हूँ. That is also going to be very important, because it is a competition that you are participating in, right? So you have to understand that I am good, but am I better than the others? And this is how you will be able to gauge yourself with the test series that is going to be there on the platform. There are mock exams. अब ये mock exams usually आप कब लोगे? When you have completed your syllabus, right? Because it will be exact replica of the examination that you are preparing for. तो इसमें mock exam आप unlimited mock exam ले सकते हो. There is no limit on which how many mock exams you will take, because we believe that आप तब तक mock exam लो जब तक आप एकदम perfection के पास नहीं पहुंच जाओ. You keep practicing mock exams until you feel yourself confident कि अब examination में अगर question आएंगे तो I'll be able to solve it because I have reached at that level, right? So there is no restriction on how many mock exams, because each mock exam is going to be generated just for you. तो अगर मैं for an example इस क्लास में let's say इस हॉल में हमारे पास कुछ 15-20 बच्चे बैठे हुए हैं, and if I give 15 laptops to each of you and say that you all can start your mock exam now, every 15 of you will be getting a different mock exam. So it will be not like that your mock exam is going to be same as yours and yours. It will be a curated one. ये adaptive नहीं होगा because it is a replica of what JEE usually asks. And JEE का एक mixture होता है of easy, difficult, medium, कौन से chapter से किस weightage में. So what we have done is we have analyzed over last 10-12 years of JEE examinations, or then we have considered the fact that what is the percentage or what is the किसको कितना weightage देके किधर से ज़्यादा questions आते हैं कैसे. So that intelligence that we have built inside the system itself, so every mock exam that you generate is in line with what JEE has been asking over the last 2-3 years, right? So आप जाके वहाँ पे unlimited number of mock exams ले सकते हो, and not only this, we have previous year examinations here as well. क्योंकि अब जब आपकी तैयारी हो चुकी है, आपने मॉक एग्जाम लेके एक अपने आप को असर्टेन कर लिया कि यस आई एम एट दैट पर्टिकुलर लेवल जहां पे मैं जाके अब जेई एग्जामिनेशन दे सकता हूं, तो सबसे बढ़िया तरीका क्या होगा अपने प्रिपरेशन को जांचने का? आप प्रीवियस ईयर एग्जामिनेशंस के पेपर एज इट इज अटेम्प्ट करिए. दैट इज द बेस्ट बेस्ट कोरिलेशन दैट यू कैन हैव विद द एक्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन, क्योंकि वो तो जेई नहीं पूछे हैं और एग्जैक्टली एज इट इज एग्जामिनेशन इसी तरीके से आएगा. सो यू कैन गो select any of the previous year examinations. Let us say I'll select the examination that happened in 2022, यानी this year itself. And JEE में आपको पता है different sessions होते हैं, तो एक साल में आपको around 16-17 papers ऐसे ही मिल जाते हैं. So this is the best thing that you can compare yourself to. आप जाके उस पेपर को as it is जैसा JEE ने लिया था, वो as it is examination की तरह आप attempt करके और इसको submit करके आप exactly देख सकते हो कि now where do you stand with the actual JEE examination. So this part was basically the assessment part. Sorry. So I'll just submit this. So these are the practice sessions that you are taking. अब यहाँ से देखिए, जैसा कि मैंने बोला कि your learning will actually start from your practice sessions. यहाँ से आप practice जितना ज़्यादा करोगे उतनी ज़्यादा आपको लर्निंग, उतने ज़्यादा आपके डिटेल्ड एनालिटिक्स जनरेट होंगे, एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई योर एग्जैक्ट वीकनेसेस. और वो कैसे? एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू वांट टू सी दैट व्हाट इज द एनालिटिक्स दैट इज गोइंग ऑन and what is the inference that the platform has derived from all the efforts that you have put into the platform. You can always go and see analytics. आपको यहाँ पे एक detailed analytics मिलता जाएगा अपना. So I'll just take you to here. आप जैसे ही यहाँ पे जाओगे तो एक ओवरऑल एनालिटिक्स आपको दिखेगा. ओवरऑल मतलब अभी तक जितना भी एफर्ट आपने किया है उसके बेसिस पे जो क्यूमुलेटिव एनालिटिक्स आपका जनरेट हुआ है वो यहाँ से आपको दिख सकता है. सो यू विल सी योर प्रोग्रेस फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस टेस्ट टू दिस टेस्ट, है ना. वो प्रीवियस टेस्ट से इस टेस्ट में क्या इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ है, यू विल बी एबल टू सी. यू विल बी एबल टू सी दैट ईच ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट्स में आपकी प्रोफिशिएंसी क्या चल रही है. आप अपना टाइम मैनेजमेंट, अब देखिए एग्जामिनेशन के ना दो इंपॉर्टेंट, इस पूरी जर्नी के बहुत दो इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स हैं. एक तो आपका कोर लर्निंग स्किल और दूसरा आपका स्ट्रेटेजिक स्किल, राइट. कोर लर्निंग इज द वे यू कंज्यूम नॉलेज, ठीक है. और दूसरा होता है एग्जामिनेशन में आपकी एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रैटेजी होनी चाहिए. यू हैव टू हैव अ वेरी साउंड स्ट्रैटेजी टू अटेम्प्ट द एग्जामिनेशन, बिकॉज दीज एग्जामिनेशंस दैट यू आर गोइंग टू अपीयर इन are going to be time bound. आपको 2 घंटे में 3 घंटे में इनफैक्ट 60 क्वेश्चन करने हैं जेई में, एंड सिमिलरली आपको 3 घंटे में 180 क्वेश्चन करने हैं नीट में. अभी 200 हो गए हैं इनफैक्ट, है ना. सो आपको टाइम मैनेजमेंट आपका बहुत अच्छा आपको मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा. सो यू हैव टू हैव अ गुड ग्रिप ऑन योर टाइम मैनेजमेंट. आपको अपनी स्पीड properly maintain करनी पड़ेगी. So you will also have a graph which will let you know how exactly is your speed of attempting each of the questions, so that you can monitor कि कहीं मेरी स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं जा रही है. अगर आपकी स्पीड पर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने की 5 मिनट जा रही है तो ऑब्वियसली you have to bring it down, क्योंकि you are not at the liberty of spending 5 minutes in solving one question in IIT JEE or NEET, right. So you have to bring that speed to a level where you will be comfortable. आपका एक से 1.5 मिनट के बीच में हर सवाल आपका हो जाना चाहिए. तो इट इज फार मोर बेटर, बिकॉज दैट इज व्हाट एन आइडियल सिनेरियो वुड रिक्वायर. मार्क्स ट्रेंड्स यू विल बी एबल टू मॉनिटर कि विथ ईच पासिंग डे जो हम प्लेटफॉर्म पे दे रहे हैं किस तरीके से हमारा मार्क्स आ रहा है, कितने % मार्क्स मैं स्कोर कर पा रहा हूं विच ईच ऑफ द टेस्ट आई एम गिविंग ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म, एंड हाउ एग्जैक्टली आई एम प्रोग्रेसिंग. आइडियली वी शुड ऑलवेज टारगेट इंक्रीजिंग कर्व. अगर आपका ये कर्व इंक्रीजिंग दिख रहा है, दैट मीन्स यू आर कंफर्टेबल, यू आर गोइंग ऑन अ राइट ट्रैक, एंड यू विल स्टार्ट एंजॉयिंग. बिकॉज जब नंबर आते हैं तभी मजा आता है पढ़ने में, नंबर नहीं आते तो फिर मजा नहीं आता है. Accuracy % is also very important because each of the questions are going to carry a negative marking. So you have to maintain your accuracy in such a way that in the examination that you will be appearing, you will not lose marks because of you have attempted a question incorrectly. वो गलत करने का ना बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट होता है. वो अपने 4 नंबर तो ले ही जाता है, 1 नंबर आपके वो सही वाले में से भी ले जाता है ना. तो you have to maintain your accuracy. So these are the strategic skills that you should always keep in mind. आप यहाँ पे जाके सब्जेक्ट वाइज अपनी परफॉर्मेंस भी देख सकते हो, सब्जेक्ट वाइज एनालिटिक्स. अब यहाँ पे देखिए ये कोर लर्निंग स्किल्स हैं. हर सब्जेक्ट में आपका कोर लर्निंग स्किल्स एप्लीकेशन नॉलेज कॉम्प्रिहेंशन एंड इवैल्यूएशन, ये आपका किस तरीके से चल रहा है. नॉलेज मतलब वैसे क्वेश्चंस आप सॉल्व कर पा रहे हो जिसमें डायरेक्टली फॉर्मूला का एप्लीकेशन था. अगर वो नहीं कर पा रहे हो यानी आपका सब कुछ सही है, आपको फॉर्मूले नहीं याद रह रहे हैं, तो यू हैव टू गो एंड रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला, है ना. एप्लीकेशन में योर एबिलिटी टू एग्जीक्यूट और इंप्लीमेंट द इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड, मतलब कि आपको सब फॉर्मूले वगैरह याद थे, लेकिन कौन सा फॉर्मूला इधर किस तरीके से यूज करके हमें क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना था उसमें गड़बड़ है. ठीक है. तो यहां तक माइन्यूट डिटेल ये प्लेटफॉर्म आपके निकाल के लाता है कि आपको फॉर्मूला नहीं याद रह रहा है इसलिए क्वेश्चन आपके गलत हो रहे हैं, कि आप फॉर्मूला को अप्लाई ही नहीं कर पा रहे हो सही तरीके से इसलिए आपके क्वेश्चन गलत हो रहे हैं. सो दैट लेवल ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस वी हैव बिल्ट इन द सिस्टम एंड इट विल आइडेंटिफाई करेक्टली. वैसे पर्सनली अगर ये प्लेटफॉर्म मेरे पास होता तो शायद मेरी और भी बहुत अच्छी रैंक आ सकती थी, क्योंकि मुझे सब कुछ समझ में आ जाता था, एप्लीकेशन सब सही रहता था, फॉर्मूले ही याद नहीं रहते थे. वो मेरी प्रॉब्लम थी. कितने लोगों को यही प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे? अरे किसी को तो होगी. फॉर्मूले याद, तो बेसिक चीजें ही कई बार बहुत ज्यादा परेशान करती हैं हमें. ठीक है. अच्छा, फॉर्मूलों का ना एक बड़ा नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट भी होता है. अगर हमें पता चल जाए ना कि इसका कोई फॉर्मूला होता है, तो हम फिर वहां पे एग्जामिनेशन में डिराइव करने की भी गलती नहीं करते कि डिराइव करके निकालने, क्योंकि हमें पहले से दिमाग में पता है कि यार इसका तो फॉर्मूला है, वो मुझे याद नहीं है, अब ये सवाल हो नहीं पाएगा. तो ये वाला पार्ट बहुत जरूरी है, आपको ये छोटे छोटे इंसाइट्स लेना, एंड दैट द प्लेटफॉर्म इज गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड. अब आप चैप्टर परफॉर्मेंस में आते हो, आप इसको एक्सपैंड करोगे तो हर चैप्टर, मतलब मैथमेटिक्स में हर चैप्टर में आपकी प्रोफिशिएंसी कैसी चल रही है आपको एग्जैक्टली पता चल जाएगा. और इस चैप्टर में भी आपका एप्लीकेशन का स्कोर कैसा चल रहा है. मतलब अगर ये इस चैप्टर में आपकी 73% प्रोफिशिएंसी है, तो उसमें नॉलेज वाले में आपका कितना एक्यूरेसी चल रहा है, तो आपकी नॉलेज की एक्यूरेसी सिर्फ 16% ही चल रही है. मतलब आपको इसमें फॉर्मूले नहीं याद रह रहे हैं, यानी अगर ये प्रोफिशिएंसी कम है तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. तो दैट इनसाइट यू विल बी एबल टू गेट फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर पेज. और यहां से आप व्यू टॉपिक्स करके आप टॉपिक वाइज, मतलब सेट एंड रिलेशन के अंदर अगर आपकी प्रोफिशिएंसी कम है, तो वो एग्जैक्टली आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो कि यार इंटरवल एंड वेवी कर्व में मुझे प्रॉब्लम है, इसलिए इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर में मेरा प्रोफिशिएंसी कम आ रहा है. तो आपको एग्जैक्टली पता होगा कि किधर जाके मुझे वापस से अपनी पढ़ाई करनी है. तो मुझे इंटरवल्स एंड वेवी कर्व मेथड के सवाल करने हैं. अगर वो मेरा सही हो जाएगा तो इस चैप्टर की प्रोफिशिएंसी अपने आप मेरी बढ़ जाएगी. सो यू विल बी एबल टू सी कि अगर एक पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर में आपकी प्रोफिशिएंसी कम जा रही है तो वो किस वजह से जा रही है, कौन से टॉपिक को आपको टारगेट करना है कि वो प्रोफिशिएंसी मेरी 100% हो जाए. So that level of insight that you are going to get from here. So ये हो गया आपका एनालिटिक्स. अब देखिए प्रिपरेशन का ना एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फेज होता है कि चलिए हम अपने से तो मतलब जाके सारी चीज कर लेंगे, लेकिन प्लेटफॉर्म आपको क्या रिकमेंडेशन दे रहा है. देखो, असेसमेंट हुआ, एनालिसिस हुआ. असेसमेंट प्लेटफॉर्म ने आपका लिया, प्रैक्टिस सेशन आपने दिया. विथ ऑल द प्रैक्टिस सेशन एंड ऑल द असेसमेंट सेशंस दैट यू हैव टेकन, प्लेटफॉर्म हैज डिराइव्ड एन एनालिटिक्स आउट ऑफ इट. लेकिन अगर उस एनालिटिक्स के बेसिस पे कुछ रिकमेंडेड एक्शंस मुझे नहीं मिलेंगे, तो मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा कि मैं कैसे इंप्रूव करूंगा अपने आप को. एंड दैट इज वेयर माय टास्क सेंटर इज देयर फॉर यू. आपके लिए प्लेटफॉर्म हमेशा डेली और वीकली टास्क्स बना के रखेगा, एंड इट विल बी कस्टमाइज्ड टू एवरी वन ऑफ यू एंड द वे यू प्रिपेयर फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. आपका my task center will be completely different from your task center, because obviously your learning ways and learning understanding a concept is completely different. आपके जो problem areas हैं, हो सकता है she is already good at it, right? So this will be completely personalized for every individual, the task center, and there will be always डेली टास्क एंड वीकली टास्क फॉर यू। अब देखिए ये टास्क डिजाइन करने में भी ना हमने बहुत पहले ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग सेशन किया कि ये टास्क कैसे डिजाइन करना है। तो हमने क्या किया कि इसमें हमने देखिए किसी भी चीज को सही करने के लिए आपको उसके लर्निंग स्किल्स अगर आपके अपने आप सही हो जाते हैं तो बहुत हद तक आपका द वे यू कंज्यूम नॉलेज अगर वो वाला कॉन्सेप्ट सही हो जाता है तो फिर आपके पढ़ाई करने में और यू स्टार्ट इंजॉइंग इट मोर, राइट। तो हमने क्या किया कि डेली टास्क में आपको एक लर्निंग स्किल का टास्क दिया है और एक स्ट्रेटेजिक स्किल का टास्क दिया है। एंड नाउ दीज टास्क्स आर बेसिकली बेस्ड ऑन, आपने माइक्रोमेट्रिक्स याद है देखा था, तो उधर से जिधर जिधर आपके प्रॉब्लम एरियाज है ना उन्हीं से लिंक करके और हम आपको एक तो आपकी वो वीकनेसेस जो हैं उसको तो केटर कर ही रहे हैं, उसके साथ साथ हम इसमें आपके लर्निंग और स्ट्रेटेजिक स्किल्स को भी एक साथ केटर कर रहे हैं। तो यू not only be working on your weak areas that you have, you simultaneously will be working on your learning and strategic skill. And similarly task for a week भी आपके पास रहेगा, every day these tasks will be updated. आप जैसे ही एक टास्क कंप्लीट करते हो अगले दिन का टास्क आपको नेक्स्ट डे मिल जाएगा, ठीक है, एंड देन सो ऑन। टास्क फॉर द वीक, वीक के लिए आपके पास भी टास्क बना के रखा हुआ है जहां पे आपको जो वीकनेसेस आपने गैदर किए हैं उसका एक टेस्ट 1 घंटे का आपको बना के रखा गया है। एंड देन यू हैव योर एक्यूरेसी टेस्ट, अगेन वन ऑफ द स्किल्स विल बी कवर्ड इन योर वीकली टास्क। तो ये रिकमेंडेशंस आपको आपकी परफॉर्मेंस और आपके पढ़ने के तरीके और आपके प्रिपरेशन मेथड के बेस पे कंटिन्यूअसली आपको मिलते रहेंगे। कमिंग बैक टू द डैशबोर्ड, देखिए हमें क्या होता है ना कि वी वांट टू बी एज अ स्टूडेंट, हम अपने लिए हमेशा एक टारगेट फिक्स करते हैं, जैसे इस वीक में मुझे बाइनोमियल थ्योरम कंप्लीट कर लेना है। अगर आप टारगेट नहीं लोगे तो देन वो फिर आपका बहुत हैपजर्ड प्रिपरेशन हो जाएगा कि चलो कभी भी खत्म हो जाएगा तो फिर पता चला लास्ट तक हमारा सिलेबस ही नहीं खत्म हुआ। सो यू ऑलवेज कीप अ टारगेट फॉर योरसेल्फ। सो लेट अस से आपको पता है कि इस वीक में मुझे बाइनोमियल थ्योरम अपना खत्म करना है, सो यू कैन ऑलवेज गो टू योर वीकली प्लानर और आप अपने लिए यहाँ पे टेस्ट प्लान कर सकते हैं। लेट अस से इस वीक में मैं 2 टॉपिक के टेस्ट अपने लिए प्लान कर रहा हूँ, 2 चैप्टर्स के टेस्ट अपने लिए प्लान करना चाहता हूँ, एक मैथ्स का और एक फिजिक्स का, क्योंकि ये दोनों मेरे इस वीक खत्म हो रहे हैं, जहां भी मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ इस वीक खत्म हो रहे हैं। तो आई वांट टू टेस्ट माई सेल्फ दैट हाउ मच confidence have I gained in each of these chapters. So you can select your 2 exams per week. You can select whichever topic you want for mathematics. Let us say I select 1 topic of mathematics and 1 topic of chemistry, so or physics, whichever you want, right? Let me just rephrase it. Yeah, so suppose I have selected 1 sequence and series for mathematics, physics in motion in straight line and chemistry में hydrogen मैंने select कर लिया, और जैसे ही मैं save test करूंगा ये जाके मेरे dashboard पे populate हो जाएगा। These 3 will be continuously there on the dashboard, which will be a reminder for me that these are the tests that I have planned for myself, so that I'll be in control of my preparation journey. Now coming down, these are the 2 very important aspects, progress journey. देखिए क्या होता है कि जब हम तैयारी शुरू करते हैं, लेट अस से आई स्टार्टेड माय प्रिपरेशन फ्रॉम टुडे एंड आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर लेट अस से जेईई 2024, तो आज से लेके 2024 तक के बीच में जितना भी टाइम रहेगा उसके हिसाब से मेरी एक आइडियल प्रोग्रेस जर्नी बन जाएगी कि भाई हर वीक आपको इतने इतने टॉपिक्स कंप्लीट करने हैं, एंड तो आपका सिलेबस आपके एग्जामिनेशन डेट से 6 हफ्ते पहले खत्म हो जाएगा। And that is what we all require. We want our syllabus to be completed before the examination date so that we have enough time to go and practice, and जो भी उसमें हमें रिवीजन वगैरह करना है उसके लिए हमें ample time चाहिए होता है। होता क्या है कि when we start our preparation, हमें लगता है कि अभी तो 2 साल बचे हुए हैं, तो we start relatively slow, है ना, धीरे धीरे चलते हैं, और फिर लास्ट में आके कुछ लोग हैं यहाँ 12th वाले, anyone of you are in 12th? Do you feel that last में आके आपका सिलेबस बहुत बच जाता है और टाइम बहुत कम रहता है? कितने लोगों को ऐसा फील हुआ है? So that is always a problem. और ये हमने अपने जब व्हेन आई वाज टीचिंग आई कुड फील इट दैट दिस इज द कॉज, मतलब वो लास्ट तक जाके वो अलग ही लेवल ऑफ स्ट्रेस बन जाता है, बिकॉज देन यू सी यार 1 महीने बचे हुए हैं, अभी तो जेई ने अभी एक अनाउंसमेंट पहले ही डाल रखी है कि हो सकता है जनवरी में ही एग्जाम ले लें। अभी अनाउंसमेंट नहीं आई है वैसे, दे हैव नॉट फॉर्मली अनाउंस्ड इट, बट देन देयर वाज एन आर्टिकल। कितने लोगों को वो आर्टिकल देख के टेंशन हो गया था? बहुत लोगों को, है ना? सो देन यू कीप कंपेयरिंग ना, यार 2 महीने में एग्जाम होने वाला है और मेरे 12 चैप्टर तो अभी बचे हुए हैं, मैं कंप्लीट कैसे करूं? तो उसका एक अलग ही लेवल का प्रेशर आ जाता है। सो दिस प्रोग्रेस जर्नी विल लेट यू ट्रैक कि आपका सही टाइम पे सही तरीके से सिलेबस चल रहा है कि नहीं। इज इट गोइंग ऑल वेल, इज इट गोइंग ऑल फाइन, और आर यू लैगिंग बिहाइंड? लाइक फॉर दिस स्टूडेंट, ही स्टार्टेड ऑफ रियली वेल, बट आगे जाके वो क्या हो रहा है, धीरे धीरे नीचे आ रहे हैं। तो यू विल हैव एग्जैक्टली टू सी दैट ओ अभी मेरा प्रोग्रेस जर्नी अगर आइडियल कर्व से थोड़ा नीचे आ रहा है, तो आई हैव टू पिक माय पेस अप सो दैट आई विल बी एबल टू कंप्लीट माय सिलेबस विद इन टाइम and I'll have enough time for revision as well. Marks trend is something that you will be able to see of each of the tests कि आपका कैसा marks trend चल रहा है, how you are scoring in each of the examinations. You can also select any of the tests that you want to see कि हर test में आपका marks trend कैसा चल रहा है. So you can select कि mock test में मेरे marks trends अगर आप उस level तक पहुंच गए हैं, when you have started taking mock tests, you can monitor that in each of the mock tests, how am I performing? How exactly my curve is going? Am I going up or am I going down? So you'll be able to monitor that. And with the weekly planner, जब आपने अपने वीक का प्लानर बना लिया है, you can attempt that particular section from here itself. आप यहीं से attempt करके वो सीधे एग्जामिनेशन, वो उस पर्टिकुलर के चैप्टर के प्रैक्टिस सेशन पे आप जा सकते हो, राइट? सो इट इज टोटली कस्टमाइज्ड. You can customize. In fact, you yourself can be, you as a student can be in control of your preparation, right? अभी आपको exactly पता हो जाएगा कि कौन सा टॉपिक की वजह से मेरा चैप्टर खराब हो रहा है, और अगर वो टॉपिक मैं कर लेता हूं तो ऑब्वियसली मेरा चैप्टर क्लियर हो जाएगा. तो you will have the liberty to go and start practicing down to that particular topic, that one particular topic that was creating a challenge for you. And then सब कुछ करने के बाद there is this MyQ Today score. अब ये स्कोर ना बहुत यूनिक है, और वो एक प्रोग्रेसिव स्कोर है जो आपके लिए निकाला गया है. कई बार क्या होता है कि जैसे मान लो आपको सिर्फ एक स्कोर देख के अपना देखना है कि मेरा सही प्रोग्रेस चल रहा है कि नहीं, मेरी प्रैक्टिस सही चल रही है कि नहीं, मेरी प्रिपरेशन सही चल रही है कि नहीं. दैट इज दैट वन स्कोर. Every day the effort that you will be putting, right? हर दिन देखो, पढ़ाई में सबसे ज्यादा अनसर्टेन जो प्रॉब्लम होती है ना, वो अनसर्टेनिटी होती है. हम एक्चुअली जो मेहनत कर रहे हैं, आज हमने जो मेहनत करी, अगर मुझे कोई बता दे कि this was the effort that you have put in today is in the right direction and it is taking you closer to your goal, if anyone can tell you at each and every on each and every day, वो अलग लेवल ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस देगा आपको. नहीं, हमें पता नहीं चलता कि आज जितनी पढ़ाई मैंने की है क्या वो सही डायरेक्शन में है, मुझे आगे लेके गया है, या फिर मुझे वहीं पे रख दिया है, या बाकी लोग मुझसे ज्यादा आगे चले गए हैं, या बाकी लोगों ने ज्यादा मेहनत कर ली है, उनके रिस्पेक्ट में मैं कम रह गया हूं. सो इफ यू कैन रियली अंडरस्टैंड दैट all the effort that you are putting in on one particular day, is it taking you closer to your goal or not, that is this score. आप एक दिन में जितने भी practice sessions और जितना improvement on the platform करते हो, because of that this score is going to increase. अगर आपने positive direction में काम किया है तो क्लियरली एक स्कोर में ही देख के आपको पता चल जाएगा. जैसे मान लीजिए आज आपने खूब बढ़िया सा प्रिपरेशन करी और आपके स्कोर में लेट अस से 5 पॉइंट्स का इंक्रीमेंट हो गया, ठीक है. your MyQ Today increased by 5 points. So obviously that will give you confidence that whatever I did yesterday was in the right direction and it is taking me to a step closer, right? So this is that score. So this is how the platform works, and I have shown you everything that the platform is capable of, that the platform is going to insights for you, and it is going to give you your own learning curve depending on where exactly you are in your preparation journey, right? So here I'll basically close this brief presentation and brief demo sessions that we have for you. We always welcome you to ask any more questions, any more doubts that you have in a Q&A session, all right? So basically quickly going through, so as I said, these are the in-depth, accurate analytics that you will be getting on the platform. You will be getting your subject performances. You will be getting your chapter-wise as well as topic-wise proficiency. You will be getting the insights about your core learning skills, your strategic skills, and you will be getting your My Task Center personalized just for you. You will be able to see your MyQ Today score, and you will be able to judge that whether you are going in the right direction. You will be able to monitor your progress journey with an ideal one just for you. Your ideal progress journey is completely going to be different from someone who joins the platform or someone who is just about to give the examination in 3 months. So सबका अपना अपना ideal journey भी अलग रहेगा और आपका progress journey भी अलग रहेगा depending on when you are going to appear for your examination, right? So we as a Q&I is being developed and is being conceptualized as a group by promoters of India Today Group. We are actually a group of we are basically backed by the India Today Group companies, and these are some of our group companies that we have: Thomson Press, Thomson Digital. And the reason of putting this is forward as that we have put in really serious efforts just to make the education journey and learning journey and preparation journey for you guys much enjoyable and much stress free, because once you start enjoying it, there will be no stress on you, right? So this is all I have for you. Thank you very much, and then we'll answer any of the questions that you guys have. Thank you. So any one of you is having any sort of questions, queries that you want to discuss, we'll be happy to answer it. Amanji, if you can join with me. Up. Hey, Mike.
Hand mic.
So we basically open this forum for any sort of discussion that you want.
How did you guys like the product demonstration?
Just would like to congratulate the India Today group for coming up with such a, I think, good learning platform, this personalized. Because why I am talking this, because we are already using not for NEET and JEE, but for the junior students educational initiative as well as the FIM1. So this is more or less, I think, whatever I think based on the same only.
Great.
And as an educator, so somehow we people are the sufferers only when these children, they go for coaching, this thing that really
Absolutely.
hampers the school vision also, because what education is meant for these students. So I think, yes, thank all of you, the kind of, I think, yes, platform you people have come up. So the question just would like to ask here, it is about the diagnostic only what you have mentioned.
Yes.
So generally we have seen children, I think, yes, with the peer pressure, this thing, we are joining coaching institute, joining this coaching or this or that. So if I think they first enroll with your platform, they take up this diagnostic test, is there something like that also, whether you can continue with this, or I think, yes, your level is not for this also? Yes. Because unless there is no point in taking up the things also, let the
Ma'am, I think it's a very powerful question. I think, and the way I am interpreting that question is that there's so many students out there preparing for IIT JEE every year. I have my own cousin sister whose son went to Kota in grade 9th and he did not go to school. He's a really sharp student, kept preparing for JEE for 3 years, 9, 10, 4 years, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then spent 2 more years taking basically 3 more attempts. Did not make it to their first, I think, even first 50,000 students. I mean, on a test-taking population of 15, 18 lakhs, if you are in top 50,000, it's not so bad. But you still don't get into the IITs and the top NITs. And after 3 years, mind you, he had sacrificed his school grades, so he did not get through a good college. He did not get through IIT, did not get through a top, anywhere, and then he decided to prepare for UPSC. Now, what is the chance that now this student will get into UPSC? So I think there's a massive lost effort by a lot of students who ought to know early in the cycle that they may or may not get it, in the top 20,000, 30,000. But they have to know that in an accurate and unbiased manner so that they can calibrate their expectations. They should know whether they'll broadly be in the first 10,000, broadly be in the first 50, or broadly be in the first 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. So that your parents are not set up for disappointment, you are not set up for disappointment. But if you are in the top 20,000, then you know that if you do this platform for 2 years, you'll probably get to the first 10,000, and so on and so forth. So benchmarking by a method of testing over so just the single test will not give you that feel, man. Like I remember taking one of these mock tests when I was preparing in 1996. One test, and that test told me that my rank will be outside some 20,000. But it doesn't matter. You could get one test wrong. After 3 months, I took my JEE and I got through JEE without any problems. So what this platform can tell you is your precise standing in each topic, each subtopic in the overall population of test preparing students. That will give you a very good estimate of where you are. So what ma'am is saying is probably that if you were to work with this platform, at some point you will know, like Akash mentioned, what you're really good at, what you're really not good at in comparison to others. What is the chance of getting into first 500, first 5,000, first 50,000 or first 5 lakhs? So that would be I don't know if I answered your question, but it points to something very critical, man. Akash, you want to add to that?
Yeah, so the MyQ Today score that we basically talked about in the last. So gradually what will happen is, this score itself will be an indication for the students. There will be benchmarks already there corresponding to the current trend of JEE, cutoffs and all. So the student will be able to really judge himself that with the current year's JEE cutoff, where exactly I am. So if, at the end of their preparation, they are still far away from what it was actually required to get into the IITs, so they'll be, yes, absolutely. Exactly.
Ma'am, I have seen the product's evolution over the last 1.5, 2 years. It has been really been built by Akash and the tech team under guidance from sir. I can just tell you that with my limited experience, this is really the most powerful do-it-yourself IIT JEE preparation platform. And it's my bias, sir. It's my bias. The dependent, this is, जिसको आप हिंदी में कह सकते हैं, आपकी तैयारी जो है वो आपके हाथ में. This madness of running after one teacher after the next, I think has to stop. It should be in your hands. You decide the pace, which topic, when, what test, when, and work on yourself to build that muscle to get into a top college. And for me, when I'm seeing one of the more advanced versions of the product, this will sound very odd to compliment him in front of you, but I don't know if there can be a more powerful product out there to do this exam yourself. All of you, no matter where you are, This is such a cost-effective platform. You can actually get into IIT just by following this pattern, just by doing this. And when I referred to my experience of preparing, I must tell you, 95% of the people who got through IIT at least that year, and later on also, even today, 45 to 50% students still are actually making it on their own.
Yes.
And they don't have this tool. But I can tell you they all are maintaining some register, some diary, trying to track these numbers. I used to do 10% of this myself. That in this topic, I used to track every question, every test, every outcome, but I didn't have the technology to do it at scale. So I'll really encourage you to try this, because the more you try it, the more intelligent the platform will get for other students. So I'm just blown away by where the product is. So congratulations to you. It's really mind-blowing. I mean, I have not seen this version of the product in the last 3-4 months, but this is really good.
Yes. Any? Yeah.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm the principal of Manav Rachna International School. Thank you for the presentation. It was really good. I have few questions.
Yes, please, ma'am.
What I've understood is that this is more about diagnostic rather than coaching the students, right?
Yes.
Am I right on that?
Not entirely, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll make a big point there. Our one line, just to understand our principle here is we are assessment-led learning. I really believe, and I hope none of you mind this comment, if I can give super intelligent assessment, I think there are enough books, enough learning resources, and teachers in your classroom and in your school, with some light support, you can crack IITJ. I really believe that. So it should not be seen, normally assessment is seen as an end and measurement of learning. Our premise is assessment is the way to learn. And the deeper you get the insights, all of us, I took later on GMAT, some of our friends took CAT. They all did it on their own. The top percentile, the middle percentile. You can just do this on your own. That's our basic idea. But yes, it's assessment-led learning. But I think you have a follow-up question, so please keep going.
All right. The second question is that I have had presentations from many other organizations. So what is the USP of this particular platform that, I should go in for this and not take up the other organizations in mind?
Well, ma'am, this is a free country. Anybody is welcome to try the platform that works uniquely for them.
There must be some USP of this.
I think that it's like Rasgulla. You got to eat it to know it. I can keep telling you how awesome Rasgullas are. I think the USP really, ma'am, is the intelligence of the platform. The granularity of the platform. So if I were to start if you take a first diagnostic in physics, he'll probably tell you you're probably low on, like I mentioned, electrostatics. But in this, you don't need a platform. You'll probably know this yourself. You don't need to go to a coaching institute to find out that you're not good in electrostatics. But within electrostatics, a subtopic, within that topic, what is the connected concept that you're struggling with? Or what is the technique that you're struggling with? This kind of insight can only come with tech. No teacher can provide you this insight at scale. Like Akash was a teacher. If I throw 50 students in a classroom, he cannot tell me that, let's say, Aman is struggling with capacitors because he has problems with integration. Because somebody else could be struggling with capacitors because he has problems with Coulomb's law, not with integration. So the intelligence and granularity and adaptability, that means, like Akash mentioned, every student gets a unique test. Even in Coulomb's law, you could get 5 separate questions from what you will get, because you have a unique problem with Coulomb's law in comparison to others. So it's really the intelligence of the platform that differentiates it from any other coaching or any other such platform. Let me pause on that. And I think the depth of analysis, the measurement that it gives you about yourself, as it scales up, the benchmarking it can give you. So you could be in coaching institute 1, 2, 3, 4. But you could be there and you could be in any school, but you come to this platform to benchmark yourself. Because we are a neutral platform. We are not a coaching class. We are a tool. We are a method. So you could be anywhere, use this tool, compare yourself where you are, get a deeper dive, and go back to your coaching class, go back to your school. So we are not saying don't go to a coaching class. We are not saying don't go to a school. We are saying come to us if you want to understand yourself more deeply. Sorry, but that's really the USP. So far, when I have at least launched a few universities in India, there's a pressure on companies to market themselves and institutions to market themselves. But I feel really it comes down to experiencing it. Education is like that. No matter how much I will tell you about it. And it's like if I tell you Google search versus Bing, that there are two search engines. It really, Google is smarter because of algorithms, because of intelligence. It's smarter because more users use it, the sharper it gets, right? So Bing still has not been able to take the market. It's really about intelligence tomorrow. It's really about do it yourself. I think in all phases of customer experiences, everything is moving towards the individual being in charge. Ticketing, buying. Like I was trying to find a car for my daughter, and after 10 minutes I said, why am I trying to do this? Let her do this. So I sent her some links, and now she'll figure out which car she would like to consider. My question is, in that world of test prep, that shift hasn't happened. Why can't the student do it himself or herself? Why do you have to be this star teacher like Akash, no offense, teaching a star group of students and only they will get to top ranks? Why?
I agree on that.
Why shouldn't a student in some random gaon in India have the same access to a same shot at IIT JE1 and not just somebody who's learning from Akash?
Right. And moreover, one more question. Is it possible that our children get hands on it, our students get hands on it before we,
yes, like sir
explore
mentioned,
it further?
every student gets a 14-day trial. I mean, Hardil is the right person to answer
Yeah,
some of these
so
questions.
all the students will be getting a 14 days trial period, and it will be they will be able to access each and every feature the platform has. So they go just try it and see how the insights are going to play. And as per the USP is concerned, there are 4 different pillars we consider our product to be based on. One, definitely the assessment and the practice sessions. And the intelligence that we have built in the assessment and the practice sessions, making it adaptive in nature, because it has to really adapt to the students, the current status. First, it has to understand it, and then it has to adapt it. So that makes it very intelligent, right? The second aspect of it is the granular analytics that you'll be getting. And it is not going to be limited to one particular subject. Not doing good in one particular subject, it is because of that you are actually not understanding the concepts of that particular subject, or it is interrelated with something else. So that sort of insight is going to give the students more clarity on where exactly to focus. It's like, you are doing a root cause analysis that why exactly this problem is happening, and then you are attacking the root of that particular problem, and then.
And ma'am, one of the things that I want to add to Akash is that this preparation journey is now in your control. You will decide when you will do a particular topic. In school, and no offense to schools, and in coaching institutes, who decides the learning journey? The institute. The so-called teachers and people who are designing the. Now, not everybody has the same pace. Not everybody is feeling like studying modern physics today. And those of you who are preparing, you will know that today you just want to study mechanics. That's the way I used to prepare. And guess what? No, today you have to learn modern physics. And today you misunderstood certain part of the concepts. Nobody is going to wait for you. Tomorrow a higher level concept will be taught to you. There's no chance you're going to catch up. So you're sitting in a classroom like a zombie waiting for modern physics to get over. Tell me if it's not true. Why should that be the case? If you're not getting modern physics today, pause it. Let's go slow. Let's go slow, and then, like Akash mentioned, go back to that subtopic. Let's take a small slice, practice that a little bit. This idea of taking control of your preparation journey, as far as I understand, nobody in the world offers you. Forget India. Everybody wants to be on this some somebody who has mastered the game of ITJ preparation. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. वो जिनका होने का हो रहा होता है वो बच्चा खुद भी कर रहा होता है. वो आकाश जैसे बोला होगा आपको शुरू में कि पार्टिसिपेशन कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ टीचर्स इज 20%, बट क्रेडिट किसको मिलता है? टीचर्स को तो मिलना ही चाहिए, बट कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस को मिलता है. सब लोग लेते हैं, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स द किड हु इज डूइंग इट. एंड आई फील व्हाई शुड द जर्नी बी इन द स्टूडेंट्स कंट्रोल? Because I remember doing it completely in control. I was not alone. Everybody, JE1 to JE100, everybody did it on their own. And I don't like being pushed around when I'm studying and thinking. Today I'm in a frame to solve 20 awesome questions in mechanics. I don't want any disturbance. नहीं, मुझे आप दौड़ा के भेज दोगे कि तुम लाइट पढ़ के आओ. मैं क्यों पढ़ूं? This shift is really what we are talking about. And this is a shift that's happening in all. ये सारा जो आप ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज की आपने ग्रोथ देखा होगा, इट्स बिकॉज पीपल वांट टू लर्न एट देयर ओन पेस. एंड नाउ इट हैज स्केल्ड अप. यू नो, दिस आइडिया दैट, एंड मानव रचना इज अ ग्रेट स्कूल, एंड आई फील दिस आइडिया दैट जब तक कि स्टूडेंट टीचर रेशियो कम नहीं होगा तब तक अच्छी पढ़ाई नहीं हो सकती है. फिर तो मतलब जो आदमी ज्यादा पैसे देगा वही अच्छी पढ़ाई करेगा, क्योंकि वही वैसे वाले स्कूल में जाएगा जिसमें 1:10 रेशियो. ये तो मेरे ख्याल से गलत बात है. You should be able to have the best preparation at scale, 5,000 students. That's technology. आप टिकट बुक कराने जाते हैं, कभी मेक माई ट्रिप पे करते हैं, तो आप भी करते हैं, आप भी करते हैं, दोनों को सेम एक्सपीरियंस मिलता है. लेकिन पहले लाइन होता था, एजेंट होता था, आप वहां काउंटर के पीछे खड़े रहते थे. That is what technology should do. It should change access, it should change cost, it should change the experience. So our USP really is totally reimagining how test preparation should be done. It should be in the hands of students, and they should decide when they want to go to teachers. And you don't need fancy teachers like Akash, and no offense, but you know, to teach you should be able to go to your own class teacher, and you know, you should be able to go to your own maths teacher and say, sir, मुझे ना यहाँ थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आ रहा. And even in a small school, in a small town, there are smart people who can teach you that. But you cannot just imagine that, and more so, this is a problem in education sector in general. You think education can only happen at good quality when the teacher-student ratio is low, only when best teachers teach you. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. You just have to give up that idea. There's enough content. Yes, ma'am. Sorry to make that big point. Yeah.
So just one more question. I'm Priyanka Singh, Headmistress Manav Rachna.
Yeah, it is working, ma'am. We are able to hear.
So the question is, like, as you say, that it's of course undoubtedly what we have seen and what insight we have just captured from here. It is going to be a wonderful product, and the best part that I really liked about it, which I have not seen in other softwares and other applications, is the My Task Center, which I have not seen it because even my daughter, she was like an aspirant of NEET, and she took it this year. But we did it when there was a time of CPMT. I did it at that time, but I couldn't crack it at that time. Obviously, we were not having such kind of applications with us. Even I couldn't crack.
No, I hope you didn't spend 3 years chasing.
No.
Fantastic. That's a smart.
I became lawyer and then became the
Perfect.
Right. So the question is, like, there are many those who really devote the important and precious focus.
Yes.
Right. Now, is this system, the AI-driven system, has that smart AI to understand the way you are talking of the granular analytics, which is there in the system, which is driving this? So, is that smart enough that a child will obviously recognize a question and not even will look into the procedure of doing it and will just answer the question also?
Yes.
Because see, after so many attempts, after so many practices, and when a child is exercising it continuously, obviously will get to learn the question as well.
Yes.
Right? So now still this AI-driven system is that smart that will analyze this in this context?
Yes. So if I am understanding your question correctly, so the first part that you want to ask is, is the system intelligent enough to let the student understand that it's time to stop and move on? Is this what? Oh, yes. So there are multiple points that we capture for a student, like how much time is he spending on the question, because that is where we also have that average timer. We try to understand that it was an average, every question required an average time to solve, and there is some minimum limit and a maximum limit to it, right? When the student starts guessing the question, we do capture that, because that average time is being captured by the system, right? But do we actually let the and even during giving the tests, right? Every time the question or the question from a same topic appears is going to be different for the student, right? So like for example, if I am practicing a particular topic today, the set of questions that I'll be getting, and if I go and practice it tomorrow also, and the day after tomorrow also, and the 3-4 days in a row, the questions that we are going to get is going to be different each and every time. The concept remains the same. See, we have developed this platform on a basic understanding of that we cannot prepare the student for the questions. We can only prepare the students for the concepts. And if the concepts are sound, the student will be able to solve any question irrespective of where it is coming in his normal school examination or it is coming in JEE. So that is what the platform is focusing more on, to clear the conceptual problems, conceptual doubts that the student is having through questions.
Can I make a point on this, ma'am, and for everyone? Hopefully some of you will find it valuable. जो लोग टीचर्स हैं, फिजिक्स टीचर्स हैं हमारे बीच में अभी नहीं है. मैम इज
Bio
Physics
teachers here,
teacher.
so you can talk of bio also.
ओके.
Here,
I
ma'am
didn't
is
study.
ma'am is a physics
Ma'am
teacher.
of
Yes.
physics, right?
Yes.
So हमारे समय दो बुक्स, एक बुक चलता था उसका नाम रेसनिक हैलिडे था, आपने नाम सुना होगा शायद, एंड एक नया बुक आया था मार्केट में, H.C. वर्मा उसका नाम था. So my brother and other friends, seniors who had prepared for IIT, they only knew Resnick Halliday. They did not know H.C. Verma. So, and this is my personal journey, so I'm sharing this with you, that Resnick Halliday had chapters that were just 2 pages, 3 pages का एक chapter. Chapter के end में कभी कभी 2 ही सवाल होते थे करने के लिए. I know of a chapter जिसके end में एक ही सवाल था करने के लिए. And H.C. वर्मा में हर चैप्टर 8-9 पेजेस का होता था, पूरा डिटेल्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन, एंड उसके एंड में 200 सवाल होते थे करने के लिए. फॉर एन एवरेज स्टूडेंट लाइक मी, आई यूज्ड टू थिंक ज्यादा सवाल करने से ज्यादा क्लैरिटी बनती, ऐसा मेरे को लगता था. So I started studying H.C. Verma, and my brother warned me, I think this is not the right track, you should focus on actually the fundamentals and solve those problems that is like that embodies a lot of conceptual ideas under it. But I did not listen to him. So I kept solving these lot of problems out there. I used to solve 99 questions out of 100 in H.C. Verma, and I was not able to solve one. What is the feeling I got? That मैंने 99 कर लिया, हो गया, एक ही तो नहीं हुआ है. जो आकाश बोल रहा है ना, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है. आपका सिलेक्शन उसी एक सवाल की वजह से नहीं होगा. आपका सिलेक्शन इससे नहीं होने वाला है कि आपने 99 सवाल कर लिए. It is at the heart of getting into these exams. You should know what you're not good at. And how will you know what you're not good at? It's only from those problems that you can't solve, right? For the problems you can solve, it doesn't tell you much. It just tells you what you're good at. happen on potentially in what you're not good at. So I had to step back and then focus on studying the right concepts again and again and solving that one or two problems that I could not solve. I'll give you an example of another friend who got 100 in physics, 100 in science and 100 in maths that year in 1994, and he was CBSE topper. He solved all of Resnick Halliday and he used to look up solutions. He solved all of H.C. Verma, he solved all of Brilliant tutorials, all of Agarwal classes, all of Young Genius file. He probably solved 5,000 questions on every topic. He took 3 attempts at IIT, he didn't get into it. So what the USP, ma'am, is really understanding what you're good at in comparison to everybody else and what you're bad at, and you have to fix that fast. It's not about solving a lot of problems. It's not about taking 5,000 mock tests. I don't believe that is going to get you anywhere. I think your insights that the platform can provide you on what you need to fix is really at the heart of you getting into a good college. Have I stressed them out?
No, no,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's completely in line, sir.
No, no problem. Questions from anyone? Thank you.
Is there any negative marking in this assessment?
Yes, because the original examination that you are going to appear for is going to carry negative mark for each question that you attempt wrongly. So that is how we have also derived the platform and designed the platform, because you should be in a habit of having that back of your mind that if you do any question incorrectly, you might lose a marks. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So even after this session also, we can have a discussion whenever you feel like it. You can always approach me and we can have a chat around it. So I'll invite our sales head, Mr. Hardil Singh, and he will be basically delivering a vote of thanks to you, everyone.
So good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody enjoyed the session and learned a lot out of it, and the platform which we are bringing up, and we look forward for you all to practice it, have a hands-on experience. And before I give my vote of thanks, so the announcement which sir has already made, that the free trial for 14 days has been there for every student of your school. We are also announcing a scholarship for 2 students of each of your school, and whom you can nominate, and they will get a 1-year free subscription for the platform. So that is also an announcement, and we are also going to provide explainer video to the students to understand it better and perform better in the same. So we thank all of our esteemed guests, the school leaders, students, for joining us today on this momentous occasion. We have been extremely privileged to have many of you guide us during the journey and building phase of the Q&A platform. As we start this new journey for Q&A, we look forward to your continued support and guidance. We are also grateful to the promoters of the India Today group who have been guiding us in this endeavor. We have now reached the end of our program for today, and I request everyone to now join us for lunch, which has been laid outside the hall, and feel free and we can discuss those. Thank you so much once again for joining us.